What's good, everybody? What's good? Okay. Morning. Morning. Or afternoon to those. Tam, I have not seen the emotes. I will look for them as soon as I get off, though. I promise you. As soon as I get off of here, I promise I will look at them. I have not seen them. I keep forgetting to look for them. My bad. That's my fault. But good morning. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing great. I didn't even know today was Friday. Yeah, Wasabi, you in here early. What's up, YouTubes? Let's like it. Let's like up the lives. Let's go. I hope everybody is ready. I know some of y'all about to get off of work already. Sorry for the late arrival. I apologize. What's good? You think it's attainable and are committed to it? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely. Let's like it up. Let's keep liking it live. It is Friday though, man. I know some of y'all feeling great. It's gonna be a good day. Stephanie says she is confused by this. What are you confused about, Stephanie? Don't you have a nuclear family? For the most part, yep. I do. Me and my wife are not common. Thank you. Appreciate it. As a lesbian, I've always rebelled against a nuclear family. Yep. A lot of people they struggle with the idea of the nuclear family. Yeah, I don't think they do. I think the nuclear family is best for people who want a child. Okay. What do you mean by rebel against nuclear family? We rebelled against it in society, in our society, specifically in America. So they were trying to the capitalists were trying to force the idea of a nuclear family onto the people, and I mean, amongst other things, but one of the things that we rebelled against as a society was a nuclear family. Some of us never, I mean, Black people, we never really practiced having a nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? But we, a good amount of us actually got a nuclear family. But yeah, no, it was, in America, the youth, they rebelled against the nuclear family a long time ago. Well, I might be giving away. I'm giving away the plot. Giving away the plot. Too many men tried to get away with several nuclear families. Jesus Christ. I don't think that's what it was, but yeah. What are they there for? Curious to know. I came from a nuclear family. Very few men enjoy it though. Yeah. Women don't enjoy it either. I think the people who enjoy nuclear families the least are women. I think men enjoy nuclear families the most. Men benefit from the nuclear family structure much more than women do. Women don't enjoy the nuclear family because all the work is put on the woman. She has no support because the man ain't gonna support her. And then she has ain't no grannies there, no uncles there, no aunties there. She ends up the one suffering the most under the nuclear family, in a nuclear family. So yeah. I believe in it because you had such a good life. Okay. Yeah. I'm not one of those people. I can remove myself really easily from stuff. Like really, really easily. Like somebody asked earlier, they said, don't you have a nuclear family? I do. But I can remove myself from it because I know that the vast majority of Americans aren't where me and my wife are financially. Like, I know that. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife are the rich uncle and the rich auntie in the family. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's working out for us. But if you have to do what we're doing, then like, who the fuck can do that? That shit is hard. Appreciate it. Yeah, I try to be objective. I guess I rebelled. A lot of us have been forced into it, and it's not beneficial. Yeah. I know it seems, I think the thing about the nuclear family that I find to be interesting is that it seems logical. It seems logical. But found one in the comments. Let's see. Who's yapping? King Quinn said he paid good money to be here. You didn't pay shit to be here. Oh man, speaking of that, I gotta change. I gotta put my little things on there. I'm glad he reminded me. Y'all be having me working, man. My voice is gone. I gotta go to the doctor. This motherfucker gone. I can't recover every day. I'll be screaming and spitting on my phone, yelling at these red pill dudes, laughing and shit, cackling. I'll be on my Zooms every day. I gotta go get some relief. Gotta get some relief. All right. All right, we bite. I had to fix my little thingamajigger. There we go. Okay. So we back. Anyways, so the thing that's interesting to me about the nuclear family is that I think that we see in real time that it's not really effective, right? So I'm interested to hear what people think. I think you went down on TikTok. No, I didn't. I had to step away for a second to do something. So here we are. All right. Let's see who we got. Let's see who we got down here. Today is Op Appreciation Day. What is King Quinn yapping about? Let's see what King Quinn got to say about this. Very interested.
I'm an op.
Yeah.
Why am I an op? What did I do?
It's Op Appreciation Day, brother. We appreciate the ops today.
Yeah, but why am I an op? What did I do to deserve that title?
You are opposition. That's all op means.
Yeah, but I'm never opposed to you, man. It's all good. It's all love. Okay, we disagree with each other.
That's what an op is. You ain't my mortal enemy. I ain't trying to unalive you. This ain't fucking Chirac, but you my op. You are an op.
All right. Yeah, op is a strong word, man. Why
it's not.
Just say, hey, this is my debate partner.
Nah, we ain't debate partners, but
we're like Skip and Shannon, bro.
Nah.
Skip and Shannon.
Nah. The thing about Skip and Shannon was that sometimes Skip would be right. Like, I agree with Shannon the majority of the time, but sometimes Skip will be right.
Well, you would definitely be Skip Bayless because you hit below the belt constantly. So
no, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Pause. I'll never hit below the belt. That's not my MO. But I'm curious to know what do you have to say about the nuclear family? What are your ideals about it?
Whatever your take is.
Nah.
Whatever your take is, I disagree.
You don't
gotta do wrong, and I think it should never be said.
I feel you, but what do you think about it?
Ever again.
What do you think about it?
Okay. So let me see. Was the nuclear family ever attainable goal under capitalism? Can I know what you mean by nuclear family? I just want to clarify that because people have different definitions.
The real definition: a mother, a father, and children underneath one roof.
Okay, underneath one roof. Okay, all right. Yeah, all right. Well, was it ever attainable under capitalist racism? I think think at one point it probably was a little bit. It was attainable. That was a different time. I think it's getting increasingly difficult to obtain it because of a lot of factors. Number one, we just have a dissipating middle class, and real wages aren't rising. And they aren't keeping pace with inflation. So you're really in a situation where people are struggling. Like a lot of people are struggling who should not be struggling. Hard workers, men and women. So I think it's hard. And financial issues cause a whole lot of distress in relationships. That's been well documented.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to stay together, right, but you're constantly arguing over finances, more than likely because you got a delusional partner who thinks she deserves the world. Oh, excuse me. Who thinks they deserve the world. I'm trying to keep it neutral here. Who wants to get her nails paid for and her hair done. This could be a man or a woman I'm talking about, by the way. And she's financially wrecking the family, So
because women are the ones who are typically financially wrecking the family. All those stories that our grandfathers.
I never said women. I never said
all the you said she, but it's okay. All those stories that our grandfathers told us about how our grandmothers drank away all their money or shot their money up into their arms, doing various drugs or gambled their life savings away, and they were addicted to going to the racetrack. Yeah, it was the women that have been financially irresponsible with the money. I got you. It could be anybody. Anybody could drink the life savings away. Anybody was doing that.
Well, look, unfortunately, alcohol is a coping mechanism for sorrow, all right, which Black people have plenty of. Back then, these days, there's never been a time in this country where sorrow wasn't plentiful and within our community. So some men want to drown that out with alcohol. I feel like the appropriate thing to do is not shame them, but, recognize that your family has a history of mental illness, specifically depression, which is oftentimes treated by alcohol, and have some sympathy for them.
Yeah, I grew up with alcohol. I had two alcoholic parents. But guess what? One of them was around and raised me, and the other one abandoned me. So I don't want to hear alcohol is I don't give a fuck. I get it.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're the host and all. All right. So you say he abandoned you. Have you ever met him?
Yeah, I met him.
When?
What do you mean when? I met him. I knew him.
I'm just saying, was it you a little kid? Were you an adult? Were you
I've seen my father several times throughout my life.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And what did he tell you about what happened?
About why did he abandon me?
Yeah.
He never acknowledged that he abandoned me.
He never acknowledged it. So what did he say?
About what?
If he never acknowledged that he abandoned you, he must have said something, as far as why he wasn't around.
He never gave me a reason.
He never gave you a reason. Okay. You never asked?
Of course I asked him. But that's I
don't understand how the conversation can, flow.
I'm trying to tell you, bro, if you never dealt with a narcissist and a habitual liar, you can you sound like you might be that, but I don't know.
See what I'm saying?
But if you never dealt with it,
right there, man, why are you attacking?
I just said you may. I didn't say you are. Okay, I'll take it back. I take it back. I do have narcissistic tendencies. Absolutely. Okay. I don't know if I am one. I've never been diagnosed, but yeah.
That's fine. We all do. That's fine.
See,
you don't gotta get personal, man.
That's something a narc would say, though. But anyways, yeah,
gaslighting. That's something else a narc would do.
I ain't gaslighting you.
You started that.
Telling when people point something out about you that's negative, and you go, "Well, everybody does that." That's some narcissistic shit. Like everybody actually doesn't do that, though. But anyways, yeah, no. But my dad, he made. I was talking about him today actually because I watched a video. I ain't gonna get into that, but yeah, he lied all the time. He lied to himself.
What was his lie?
I don't know. I don't know what he told himself, but I know he was lying to him. Like I've told this story before here, but so my dad was an abuser, right? And he wasn't like physically violent in the home, but he abused in every other way you can think of in my home. And
at what age did he abandon you?
I don't know. It's probably like 7, 8.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
So he got put out when I was 5, and he got put out for some unspeakable shit I don't even want to talk about on the internet. But he was cheating on my mom. Like, let's just say that. Let's say he was cheating on my mom. My mom caught him, and she put him out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I lived in a projects, and it was one way in and one way out. So me and my family, me and my brother and my sister and my mom, we had went out somewhere that day, and we were coming back in, and like 20, it was hood time, 80s, 90s kids, it was 80s kids running down, they like knocking on our car, like literally we're in our car, they were treating us like it's like Michael Jackson was coming through, they knocking on the window like, hey, you guys got to see this, hey, my mom's name was Peaches, she's like, Peaches, you got to get out the car, little kids, these all my peers, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a bunch of kids. Get out the car. So we get out the car, and they run us over to like right. It's like the gate where you come in, there's this big ass brick wall. And it said,
are you checking your Cash App? Somebody might have put something in there to get me.
They didn't, bro. Don't worry about that. I got this. And so they put on the wall, somebody spray painted on the wall, Peaches is a bitch on the wall. Right. So I'm like, I was like, yo, and I remember seeing it. I'm 5 years old, 5 years old. And I was like I'll never, that was like I remember that shit vividly, like it was yesterday. And I was 5, I'm 42. That was 37 years ago. And I could remember that. I could remember coming in. I remember it was, it was sunny. Like I remember a bunch of shit about that day.
So wait, you 42?
Yeah, I'm 42. So
wait, hold on.
Oh, this fool left. But yeah, anyways, that what happened, bro? I don't know what happened. I don't think he left intentionally. Sound like he dropped. I don't know, but he's in here. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so that we saw that or whatever, and yeah, that was for me, like looking back on that, not in the moment, but looking back on that, like he didn't take any responsibility for what he did to my mom and what he did to my family. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a 30-something-year-old man. He wasn't a child. He was 30-something years old. He had a kid, and
my bad.
Are you good?
I guess come in real quick.
No, you good.
So sorry.
No, you're good.
By the way, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had a guest come in, but by the way, public offender, I think they want you to rip my head off and start calling me names because they're snoring in the comments and they're upset that we're having a conversation. Right
Bro, why are you worried about I'm not even reading the comments because I'm being respectful to you because you're up here. You don't think that's disrespectful?
Here's the problem, okay? I care about your viewers, all right? Because one of us has to.
Yep.
And if we gotta argue and start being disrespectful in order to get these people riled up and get these numbers up and get these Cash App bumping.
Yeah, we don't have to do that though. They don't like you, and you ain't been even saying much, so we ain't gotta yell or nothing like that.
Man, they don't like me on the principle that I'm a man and I'm up here in the box. That's the reason why they don't like me. But
then why do they like me? Because I'm a man.
Because you're not in the box, man. Because you're not in the box.
I know, but why do they like? I've been in the box many a times. It's not because you're a man.
Your show. You can't.
But you see though, you and this is why I was talking about being a narc, because you act just like my dad. You're not taking any responsibility for, like, if a lot of people don't like you, it might be you. I'm not saying in all cases it's you, right? But you don't even stop for a second to think, like, why don't all these people like me? Like, why are all of these people?
I think your audience is particularly. I think they're a prickly bunch, and I think they're an unlikable group of people. All right,
but they're more likable than you, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, they not.
It's my opinion.
Talking all this mess.
Yeah, it's my opinion.
The comments got all this mess to say.
I know, because they don't like you. But you're not asking the right questions.
Yeah, I know. What's the right question?
The right question is why is there look, like for me,
why don't they like me?
Yeah, like for me, when like a person doesn't like me, I not to say I don't care, but like I definitely question. I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened or whatever. Sometimes I know what I did, sometimes I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely ask the question because it's just, something I, as a human being, I'm curious. Like, you know, like I wonder, you know what I'm saying? Like, what did I do to really piss this nigga off? You know what I'm saying? But in this space, for an example, I know why a lot of people don't like me when I'm in this space. You know what I'm saying? So this different. I'm not like, if you don't like me or a bunch of other dudes don't like me, I don't assume it's because like I'm like a bad person or anything like that. I actually assume it's the opposite. I actually assume that it's because they're mad at something in themselves, and whatever the case may be. Like I say, y'all don't hate me, y'all hate yourselves. That's usually my response to that. But if I were you though, like if I were just moving around on this app and I got into certain spaces and then like everybody like dislike me, I would definitely question that. I would definitely be like, why does everybody not, what is going on?
You know what I would question? I would question whether or not they're looking within themselves and taking accountability for the fact that they have a negative perception of somebody who did not earn that negative perception.
You mean like yesterday when you said you was abusing your girl and like stuff like that? You don't think that was a reason why people don't like?
What'd you say?
Like yesterday when you got up here, you were like, you admitted to it, like abusing your girl, and we don't even know if it's true or not. You probably were trolling.
What in the world are you talking about? How?
When you said that you put roaches in her purse and you put tacks in her shoes, that's abuse.
I never said that.
Oh, now you about to lie.
I'm not lying. I never said that. What are you talking about?
That's narc shit. It's actually on my YouTube page. So
okay.
The whole live is up. But yeah, no, you said that. So I'm just, you know what I mean?
I go check it out sometime because I got to find out what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's crazy work. But anyways, I don't feel like talking about me anymore. What do you think? So you already basically admitted to the nuclear family was never an attainable thing through capitalism, also through racism, because they're connected. When did we start to rebel against the nuclear family as a society, as a culture?
I feel like it probably happened somewhere when I don't know. I think it probably happened when we started to there was the crack epidemic. And it happened, and people just started to become a little bit they just started to become more independent. It became less about us and more about me. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But the culture of independence in America has only continued to grow throughout its history, and we've gotten to a point where it's difficult for people to come together because they've gotten their lives set up for themselves. And why would you want to alter the way you live your life, or whomever who has flaws, and a person that inconveniences you, and a person that gets on your nerves, and a person that's very replaceable if you were to just go on a dating app and pick out somebody else. It's just like going grocery shopping. So unfortunately, I'm not saying I agree with this.
How did you get from the 80s to a dating app? Because like
giving you a bit of a truncated history of independence in the dating market in the U.S., but I think that drugs obviously played a role, right? If you have a lot of drugs, obviously causes like a lot of trauma, causes people, as you said, to misallocate their resources, savings, prison. It's just, a thing that it's like the original sin in many ways, because so many other things branch out from it. So much other chaos branch out from drug use. And so when that becomes widespread throughout a community, you just get a dynamic that changes, within the family. You have an absent father or an absent mother or a parent that's using, and a lot of people were using during the 80s and 90s. Just imagine growing up with that kind of chaos and confusion. It messes people up. You got a whole lost generation because of drugs in the Black community in particular.
Yeah. What if I told you that Black people largely never were down with the nuclear family? So how would you blame it on the drug epidemic when we really never attained it? We never really attained it.
That's interesting. I would like to hear why. I mean, I would like to hear why. From that, I would be able to make, I would be able to sort of apply, what I know about the drug epidemic, the little that I do know about it. to the situation and see if it can be reconciled. If not, then I will still say that you're wrong because, like I said, you're my op too, and I will never admit that you're right. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, we never had it. We couldn't afford it because of racism. Because it takes a lot of money to have a nuclear family, and Black people, unfortunately, we never made. I'm talking about as a group. I'm not saying like no Black people did it. I'm just saying like as a group, unfortunately, Black people were not afforded that opportunity financially. So, yeah, I mean,
wait. So how would you describe the Black existence like pre-1965 in America?
Like
when it comes to the Black family,
like really hard and really tough and very like a struggle. And we were like,
you can be struggling and still have a nuclear family. That's possible. It's harder, but it's possible.
Yes, but it's not likely. So it didn't apply to most people. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like it did, like no Black people had it. I already said some Black people had it, but the vast majority of Black people didn't.
Why are people calling me a weirdo? I don't get it.
Bro.
It's just like, what in the world? I'm just sitting up here talking, having a conversation. They're throwing shoes and tomatoes at me, thumbtacks, roaches. Like what in the world is going on here? Like seriously, first of all, they got all this mouth, right? But nobody's bumping the cash app though. So that
bro, don't worry about what we got going on, fam. You doing
we got some certified dusties in the comments.
You got too much dip. You got too much dip on your chip.
Y'all can't see. Y'all ain't doing nothing about it.
You got too much dip on your chip. They tapping. And real quick, let me read this. Speaking of that, let me read the super sticker. Appreciate the super sticker. Why is seeking knowledge saying, yep, he's lost, wasting breath on this one.
Yeah, well, you shit waste of breath generally. Like generally, I waste the breath. Like seriously, she an oxygen thief. So whoever that is, you can go kick rocks with no socks because I don't care. How about that?
Interesting. We need to cut the comments off. Y'all know I hate cutting the comments off. We're gonna have to restrict it because King can't keep his eyes on the prize. So I got one more. So we got one more. So is the nuclear family the best way to raise children?
Yeah, I would suggest that that's the time-tested way. That's the only way that's generally been shown to work. Generally,
that's the time tested. When did the nuclear family?
Here's what I mean by that. I'm not saying that it's necessarily the only way. I'm saying that that's the way for the most part, throughout history of this country, human history generally, the nuclear family has been the situation that most people have grown up in. Now, you can say,
are you sure about that?
Well, yeah, maybe that's an overgeneralization because you have cultures where you got multiple wives and so forth, so on and so forth. But
are you sure that the nuclear family predates the early 1900s?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to speak to that.
I'm just asking because it doesn't. So
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't.
What happened? What was it?
What was it before?
Yeah.
It was multi-generational families.
Multi-generational. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So when you said that it's been proven to work the best, when?
Well, I mean, you definitely had a generation of people, baby boomers, who, primarily, adhered to the nuclear family structure.
You think baby boomers? You think baby boomers? Hold on. You think boomers are a good generation? You think boomers I'm not saying every boomer is bad, but I'm saying as a generation goes, what's good? What was good about the boomer generation?
I didn't say they were good or bad. I just said that a lot of them adhere to the nuclear family structure. 75% of boomers by the time they were 25 were married. You know that? That's crazy.
Sounds right.
75%. So, by and large, they adhere to the nuclear family structure. They made families that are born of marriages. I'm not saying that was right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the way it was done.
When do you mean successful then?
What do you mean?
When you say successful, what do you mean by successful?
In regards to what?
The outcomes. How are you gauging it? When you say like boom,
Like
like,
you're talking about a successful nuclear family?
or the people that were raised in a nuclear family, when they, you know,
How do I define their success?
yeah, how do you define their success?
Yeah, that's not up to me. That's up to them. Everybody's got their own metric for happiness. You know, some people, as long as they're happy, they're successful. Other people, they need a lot of money. You know, they need a lot of status and a special job to be happy and feel successful. Yeah, it's up to the individual. I can't answer that.
Such a weird.
How is that weird?
Such a weird take.
True? Is that not true?
Is that not true? I don't think that that's true. I mean, there's certain metrics we could, you know, generally we can agree on would, you know, be indicators of success.
I mean, you ask anybody, I mean, like whatever metric you say,
Uh-huh.
right? For the vast majority of metrics, somebody will disagree with that.
I know.
And they will have a point to say that, oh, that's not how I measure success.
Yeah, but I accounted for that, though. I said I accounted for that. I said I didn't say all people. We don't all have to agree on anything for it to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's up to the individual. That's exactly what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing.
No, we're not.
How so?
Because I'm saying it's up to the group, the majority of people. If the majority of people feel this way, then that's what it is. That's reality. That's how reality is shaped. You see what I'm saying?
Well, no, because it's only that way if you care about what other people think about you. All right. So if you don't care about what other people think about you, how you define success is what will govern your life. If you reference what the majority of people think is success, then that will govern your life.
I'm not having a discussion based on how you govern your life. I'm saying
that's not what I'm saying. You know that's not what I'm saying.
I don't know that's not what you're saying. That's what it sounds like you're saying, though, because I'm talking about if a person is.
We're talking in the abstract here, man. I'm not talking about me in particular. All right.
Okay.
So you bring it back to me as to like, this is how you, no, I'm saying this is what people can think. It's a possibility. It's a concept. It's not something that's necessarily what I believe to be true.
Do you believe in the nuclear family concept?
I believe that there can be a nuclear family. Yep.
Like, absolutely. do you want a nuclear family for yourself?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good idea.
Do you?
Huh?
Do you?
I have one.
You have one? How many kids you got?
2.
Are they both from the same marriage?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good for you. Good for you.
It's not like a feat to be like proud of or whatever. Just you know what I'm saying? Like
that's exactly what I'm saying. It's not good or bad. It is what it is.
Okay. I think they're harmful sometimes. I think nuclear families, I could think of a few scenarios that I feel like are better than nuclear families.
Well, let's hear them.
Obviously, multi-generational is better. And I say this, I think also two healthy co-parents are better than the average nuclear family, because I think the average nuclear family is dysfunctional. But I think that 2 healthy co-parents are also better. I think, but that's not common, 2 healthy co-parents. But you know, if you could find 2 healthy co-parents, I think that
right. They're usually tearing each other's head off.
Yeah, and I also think that
like cats and dogs.
I also think that a high functioning single parent also is better than the average nuclear family, personally.
Say that one more time.
I think a fully functioning single parent situation is better than the average nuclear family.
What do you mean high functioning? Trying to understand exactly what's the comparison here. High functioning,
like,
what do you mean by that?
Economically viable, emotionally intact and aware, not toxic, mentally healthy, physically healthy, like that. I think that person raising a child is better than even the average nuclear family. Man, I got nuclear families
like
with
4. To almost
Go ahead. I'm
You
listening.
can say with respect to almost anything, the high functioning version of one way of doing things is better than the average way of another way of doing something, you know? Insofar as it's not completely, it's something that's not possible to be accomplished at all, in either case. If it's possible, then the high functioning version will always be better than the average of another version. So it really doesn't, you can say that with anything, all right? You can say, hey, a high functioning 2-parent household is better than the average single parent household. I've made that point just now.
I think that, I do. I think that a high functioning 2-parent household is probably equal though to a high functioning single parent household. I don't think it's that much of a difference. That's what I'm saying.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Let me guess. Because a man's in the home.
No.
All right, why?
I just think that a child raised in any environment where the parent or parents are high functioning, I think there's like a ceiling. You know what I'm saying? I just think there's like a ceiling of success.
I just wish It's a No for me would stop yawning and just go to sleep. Please be quiet, because you are not
we don't care. I don't care about comments from the chat. Let me read this. Let me read this comment though, because they sent me a super chat. I appreciate it. Trinity says, no. There is a reason why they say it takes a village to raise a child. Multi-generational housing would be the healthier option. Absolutely. I think multi-generational is the best. No doubt about it.
Yeah. If you yawn in the comments, take your ass to bed, because you just a distraction. Nobody's here to see you yawn your funky breath. I can smell it through my goddamn phone. Okay.
I heard that joke way back in 1987. It was like an old rapper said some shit like that. I can smell your breath through the telephone. Like, I think they said some shit like that.
Oh man, it smell like feet up in this.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Sound about like the joke I heard.
All right. Look, back to you, man. I just want to say this. Man-woman dynamic that's healthy, all right? Nothing beats that, regardless of what you say, okay? Because it's best for just like, look, I didn't grow up without my dad either. I didn't grow up with my dad either. Somebody said I talk like a sissy. Okay. So anyway, I didn't grow up with my dad either, right? And there were lots of things in life that I had to learn the hard way, because I didn't have a father there to advise me on how to do better. And these were things.
Why didn't your mom? Wait. Why couldn't your mom advise you?
I'm getting to that.
Yeah,
I'm getting to that, man. So I brought these things to my mom, and she did her best, but she didn't quite understand.
Like what? Give me an example.
These were things that had to do with.
Be specific.
Okay. Issues dealing with relationships from a male perspective.
Your mom can help you with that?
What I mean by that, I'm not going to get too deep in it, because it's my business and I don't want to put it all out there.
You don't got to put it all out there. I just asked you, I think your mom is best suited to help you with relationships with women. Why wouldn't you want to listen to a woman? See what I'm saying?
I'm not going to listen to her at all. I said there were some things I brought to her that she didn't understand.
Like what?
Like, for example, okay. My mom growing up was always approached by men, right?
Okay.
So she really didn't have to do much of the initiating of anything.
Okay. Most women don't.
And when you're a young guy and you're trying to muster up the confidence to walk up to a woman, now eventually you'll lose that nervousness, because you'll realize she's just a human being. Her poop stinks like everybody else, and she's probably an awful person in this comment section. So you ain't got what in fact, you should run the other way. You shouldn't be worried about going up to her. Run. She's gonna ruin your life. Anyway, I didn't know that at the time. I thought that, they were all sunshine and rainbows. So I didn't know how to approach and present myself in a confident way, and I didn't know how to take rejection either. So, properly. My mom, like I said before, she was beautiful. She didn't get rejected a lot, right? And usually her form of rejection was just a guy not approaching her, initially. I'm not talking about like a breakup or something like that. So these are things that I felt like I could have learned a lot better had I had my dad around.
Do you think the average man knows how to take rejection?
I don't know. I have no idea. There's no
Take a
statistics
guess.
for that.
There are, but take a guess.
I'm not going to guess on that.
Take a guess. If from what you have observed in society in your life, do you think the majority of men are good at taking rejection?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say no. And here's why.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with their gender. It's just I think most people in general suck. Okay? I think most people, men and women, man or woman, they suck. Okay? They don't do most things good. They don't learn their lessons. They don't take accountability. They blame the world. They're lazy. Okay? They take advantage of people and they turn around and justify it. That's most people. Now there are good people in this world, but understand that those good people are exceptional because they have had bad experiences in life or lessons that they've had to learn in life, and they've been successful at learning those lessons and implementing those lessons in their life that, you know, enables them to have healthy relationships.
This don't sound like projection. This doesn't sound like projection to you at all.
No, this is from my observation. Look at the comments.
What about them?
They're disgusting. Like, look at this. Look how rude they are.
I don't know if they're disgusting. I think you're the one who's saying the most disgusting shit that I've seen so far.
What have I said? What have I said thus far that's disgusting?
You trying to blame your mom for not.
What's wrong with you?
I'm telling you that, sir. You can try to. I'm telling you what it sounds like to me, and to most people. I think this was the reaction is. So you're trying to blame your mom. Hold on. King, let me finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I think that you are blaming your mom and you're romanticizing the relationship you could have had with your father, right? I'm gonna tell you though, because I don't know how much your dad was in your life, but my dad was in my life enough to where I saw his character. I know who he was, right? I'm happy he wasn't in my life, right? Like I would. And the only way that I wish that my father was in my life, based on the person he is and was financially. Like we could have avoided all the contact and he could have just sent them checks and that would have been good enough. But anyways, so I will say this. It sounds like you are scapegoating your mom and you're romanticizing your father and you are acting like your mom didn't give you good advice. I'm sure your mom gave you the advice that you needed to hear, because as a woman, like I'll use your example. You're a man, you want to know how to approach a woman. Who better to listen to than a woman, right?
All right. Okay, first off, man, I think you're getting too caught up in semantics, all right?
Semantics?
Semantics is in like this individual instance, right? You're using that to say that, oh, well, I'm blaming or scapegoating my mom because in this individual instance, she didn't know what to say. And I told you otherwise. She was an excellent mother. Okay? She didn't know.
Where the semantics at?
But semantics is getting caught up in unnecessary immaterial detail. Okay? And I'm not talking about this, this instance doesn't represent how she was as a mother generally. Okay? And here's the thing about my father. I understand that my father wasn't a very great guy. Okay?
They put 5 on your head, King, just so you know.
But here's the thing. I'm not talking about him as an individual. Okay? I'm talking about the concept of a good father. Okay? I think that my life would have been better off in a lot of ways in terms of having to learn certain lessons had he been there. And here's another thing that just came to my mind that I remember for a long time. My mom used the soft approach, as far as discipline, understanding, caring, right? Mothers tend to be a little bit more empathetic than fathers when it comes to their children. I could have benefited a lot more had somebody used a hard hand when it comes to certain things to teach me lessons that I would not have to learn in the future.
So you think that you think that being abused would have helped you to learn your lesson better?
Not abused, not literally. I'm talking about a stern approach that can come off as a little bit harsh, but it's necessary because the alternative is for them to learn this lesson at a point in time in life where it's the least opportune for them.
What's a hard hand? What do you mean when you say that?
Hard hand is this, For example, my mom, She would take when me and my brother were punished, she would take the game system from us, right?
I got 15
she
on
would
your
see
head.
we were sad.
Mm-hmm.
She would see we were sad, and she would cave after like a week. Say, okay, here, you can have it back. Okay. I think that if a stern man were in the house, he would say, no, you're gonna stay out there, and you're not gonna have anything back, for a longer period of time. I want you to feel it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's how men tend to be.
So crime and punishment. Yeah, men are very abusive. You're right. So you think that if you were raised by an abuser, that is abusive. To me, that is.
Let me ask you this: what do you think of life as it relates to how life treats people who mess up? Okay, when people mess up in life, is the first thing that life goes for is forgiveness?
I don't know what you're about to ask me, but Christina went on and just. She just said, fuck it. She couldn't take it no more. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll never know. We'll never know. But I will say that it's odd that you long to be abused by a man. That's how sick men are. Men will long for the abuse of their father when they got the love of their mother. They'll still find a way to the cult is strong. The cult is strong. The cult is strong. Oof. They long for the abuse of their father and reject the love from their mother. That's crazy. That's crazy. I've never, ever, I've never thought for 1 second that if my dad would have been in the home to abuse me, that I would have turned out better. even when I was 15 years old, even when I was 17 years old, I never thought. Madam said that's a prompt. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's wicked. That's wicked. Oh man, that's wicked. Never thought about it in my whole entire life. Mm. 47 million mark is a king. All right. Let's get back on topic. That was interesting. Very interesting. Muhammad, what's good? Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, brother. What's happening?
Hello, this is Muhammad Sabih, and I'm from Palestine, and I'm very excited to be here with you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I please share my story for a few minutes, if you can?
Yeah, sure.
I will not take too much time, just a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is Muhammad Sabih, and I'm from Palestine, Gaza specifically. And nowadays, I'm living in Egypt, studying medicine. And you know that there is a war currently in Gaza, in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
And my family lives there under the war. Used to be living in Beit Lahiya, but after there is attack on Gaza, they moved from Beit Lahiya to Rafah, and there were many fights in Rafah, so they have moved from Rafah to the desert, to the nowhere. They are living now in tents in the desert. And every day they are moving from a place to another place, just trying to be safe, trying to save their lives. And someone suggested that I have to create a GoFundMe account to help them. You know, there is in the world when the resources are limited, everything are very expensive. So I have created a GoFundMe account to help my family. And I'm here trying to speed out my story to ask people to help my family. And I ask you to help my family and pray for them, because we used to be a rich family. We had our own properties. We had our own factories. We used to live in a good house. But everything got bombed under the wall. And we are really in a very critical situation. So we lost everything.
Man, it's terrible.
Yeah, this is my story.
Okay. Hey, Muhammad, I appreciate you sharing that story, man. You can stay up here. If you guys want to give Muhammad, feel free. Definitely, it's free Palestine all day, every day over here. So, yeah, that's tough.
The link is in the bio, guys.
Oh, his link is in the bio. Okay, cool.
And there are many videos, many photos, many pictures. Just if you want to verify my story, because
I believe you 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, but some people
they don't. I know.
Suspect that I can.
You're scamming, yeah. My thing about the whole idea of the scamming stuff is to me it don't really matter. I give you $5 if you scamming me, then that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that. What that got to do with me? It didn't hurt me to give up $5. So it don't matter to me one way or another. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying like that's how I look at it. I don't really care. I'm just like give up the money or not. It's all good. But I appreciate you, brother. But I'm gonna get back to the live. But I do, like I said, you can stay up here and I'll let people gift you. No problem.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate your support and I appreciate all your support, guys. And I hope that you help me and pray for my family and for all of Gaza, because they are living every day. And I lost some of my family members. I have lost 3 of my family. And the children, I have 10 children in my family, and you know that children can't stand in this war. They can't stand the heat of the sun. They can't stand these situations. So we all pray. We all have to pray that the war ends soon, and my family return back to Gaza, return back to our home, to our house. Return back to our life, our ordinary life, where we used to live with our family.
Yeah.
And I also study medicine in Egypt, and I try to balance between my studying, my college, and I try to call my family every day. Sometimes I manage to call them, and sometimes I fail. But when I call them, I'm sorry if this is sad for you. This is that you are. I'm sorry for if this makes you sad.
Okay. Like I said, brother, just hang out up here, but definitely I want to get back to the live. But like I said, much love and respect to you. What up, Samantha?
Hey, Pops. Thanks for bringing me up.
No problem.
Hey, everyone. Ooh, yeah, this is a great topic. So, yeah, I mean, you already know my stance on this. I agree with you. I was in another room and they were talking about children unaliving their parents, and they had the stats wrong, and I had to correct them. And so when I went to research the data, it actually said that children overwhelmingly unalive their fathers over their mothers. It's 56% father, 46% mom. And typically when they're unaliving their fathers is because it's a single father. And I've heard a lot of different data about how single fathers typically treat their kids. It's like they kind of just abandon them almost, even though they're there. They'll get a wife really quickly, and the stepmom might be mistreating them. And I have a true crime channel. I'm like obsessed with true crime, so I just do a lot of research on like why people behave the way they do. So I was going to take psychology like your wife, and I ended up just becoming, going into IT because it was faster for me to get back to work. But I've always been very fascinated with how people think and how humans tick, what makes them tick, how do people think the way they think. And so I was just researching that, so I'm just like, that's so weird. What will make a child want to take their own parent's life? And they said it's once they explained it, it made sense. I was actually watching one of the true crime show, another episode where a boy unalived his dad. And they were saying it's because kids feel like they just don't have like they feel like they don't have a way out. Like
Yeah.
they pretty much, those are a lot of the kids who run away, and then the cops bring them right back to their home, to their abuser. And, or they, they're being abused like daily, or they'll go to the school and no one really listens to them. You know, the teachers don't really, no one believes them because they're children. And I think that's what's so sad is I see people do this on like daily, treat children like they're not human.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, you're little, so we can just treat you like you're subhuman, kind of like how they did to us in slavery. So it's like really sad that people just they may not even realize it, but it's like if you think of some of the stuff people say about kids, it's like would you say that to an elderly person or an adult, and you know what I'm saying, like and take that the same way, like you would be like, oh no, that would be disrespectful, or that would be this, that would be inhumane. But like with a child, I see people saying muck these kids and all these really crazy things, and I'm like, what if you said that about an elderly person? You wouldn't, because it's an adult, you know, or you wouldn't say it about really anyone because you have more respect for them. So I feel like a lot of people don't listen to kids, and that's why they do end up just unaliving their parents is like the last resort to almost like getting free from their abuser, essentially. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it. That's what that one Gypsy Rose situation. There'd be shit like that going on all the time.
Yeah, because I think it's weird because I see red pillars and the incels saying like, oh, dads are the better parent, but they always misconstrue the data. You know, like of course they're going to say that because fathers typically aren't the single parent. Yeah. But the few times they are, they do seem to get a lot more support. So it's like very hard. So it's like, okay, if they're the better parent, then why, when the kids do feel like, oh, I want to unalive a parent, why is the father getting unalived the most? You know, so it'll be either a single parent dad, or if the parents are both in the home, then that's when the mother is being unalived as well. But typically it's not because the mom is by herself. This is for children, not for adult males. I think adult males, when they do it, like unalive their own mom, there's probably some incel behavior going on. Like they don't respect women. They don't like women. They don't respect women. And it's like now you have your mom trying to tell you what to do and you just don't have respect for her. So I've seen a few, I don't know if it's on the rise, but I feel like I've seen a few extra stories than usual about sons unaliving their mothers. And I think that might have kind of like almost be like a symptom to the whole incel movement.
Maybe. I think it probably is. I also don't want to remove the fact that
I can't help with responses on elections and political.
Sorry, my Google phone is like talking.
Yeah, I also think that I don't want to, because I feel like mothers also, parents in general, they struggle with seeing their children as human beings, mothers and fathers, both. So I wouldn't put that past mothers to be abusing their kids too. So I don't want to make it seem like when the boys are harmed and then they retaliate in that way, it's just like, oh, they're just red pilled or whatever. They're just incels. Like sometimes it could be that the mother is just being extremely abusive to that child, because that happens often too. You know what I'm saying?
It does happen. But I was saying like for adults, not like the children. Like yes, the kids can do it if they're feeling abused, but like typically with adults, you have to think about it. Like you're a grown man, you're living with your mom. Do you really even have to be there? Like you can just leave the house. So why are your mom is actually doing you a favor by allowing you to live with her. So this is adult males, or adult children, not once their kids grow up over 18. So if they don't like it, you can leave. Like no one's going to bring you back to your mom or anything. You're over 18. So why are you living in her house and then unaliving her because she actually put the groceries away? It's just I think, and I have all sons. So I had to take note like, okay, so don't help my sons. Like, it's like it makes me rethink a lot of things. Like, are they going to resent me? Because it kind of makes me think about the DV rates with relationships and how males tend to be more abusive if their wives or their significant other is a woman and she makes more money than them. And they get jealous and it makes them angry and they feel like they got to knock her down a few pegs to where they are. And so it kind of is almost parallel to what you get when you see a son doing that to his mother as well. It's like you're making more than me. That's why I'm living with you. And I feel like I know this is wrong. Like I should be paying my own bills and building my own life up, and I'm not doing that. So now when he wants that respect, but he basically like really hasn't earned it. Fact. If that makes any sense.
I just want to shout out Erica. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thanks for the support for sure. That was big. I love that. Raider said that women abuse children more than fathers do. Where are you getting this information from, Raider?
Police have said as much.
Police have said this much, or you have seen an actual report?
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's abusive fathers out there, but most of them are not.
Okay, where are you getting this information
specifically from? in a black household?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, black mothers are far more abusive than fathers are.
Appreciate you, Kim. Where are you getting this information from? Is what I'm asking you.
Living it, seeing it.
Mm-hmm. So not the police.
Oh, police have said as much as well.
Oh, okay.
Because
and where did they get it from?
About 3 years ago, I was arrested for something that that ended up getting dropped against me. But me and that detective, we actually became good friends. I arrested the detective, and he relayed that information to me.
Can I ask you a question? What is the largest form of abuse?
I would say verbal.
No, neglect.
Well, like I was guesstimating.
I know. I'm just saying. I know it's close though. Verbal. Verbal would be second.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're going with the neglect.
Okay.
I know who you are. I know you're feminist and communist. But bottom line is,
what does that have to do with reality?
You're trying to talk about absentee fathers, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Most fathers are involved.
Okay. But most fathers are neglectful. You can be involved and be neglectful at the same time.
Well, here's the thing. Neglectful has been used very loosely.
No, it hasn't.
So, for example, if a man who wants to protect and provide for his household has to work 60 to 70-hour weeks, he's considered neglectful.
It is neglectful, though.
No, it's not neglectful. Protecting and providing is not neglectful.
You can't protect if you're gone. Hold on, Raider. Hold on, brother. You can't protect if you're gone 60, 70 hours a week, first of all. Second of all, it doesn't matter why you are gone. That it's impact over intent. So the intentions are good. I agree, right? I got to make this money, but the child is still neglected. That's what I'm saying. So I'll give you an example. Hold on, Raider, hold on real quick. Wait. Let me give. Trust me, you're gonna want to hear this one. This one actually is gonna make sense. So, if you were, let's say you had a neighbor, right, and they were gone, they had a family, had some small children in the home. It's a single parent. It's a father, mother, doesn't matter, a parent. They're gone for 60, 70 hours a week. You start noticing stuff like the kids. You don't see them going to school in the morning. You know what I mean? They always coming over asking, can they borrow something or can you help them with something or whatever the case may be. Would you not in your mind, eventually, if you observe some very disturbing stuff going on, them being hungry all the time, things of that nature, would you not think that maybe you should call like CPS?
Hold on, I need you to repeat some of that. My dog out here tripping.
No, you good. I'll wait for you to come back.
I'm sorry, I can drop down. I can't hear myself.
Okay, I got you. So Raider, what I was saying was basically I'm saying if a parent is gone for whatever reason, if a parent is gone and the children are being neglected, their needs are being neglected because children need their parents, right? That is a function of being a child. And the parents aren't there. It doesn't matter why the parents aren't there. The kids are still being neglected. Neglect has nothing to do with intent.
Okay, well, let me rebuttal that. A person who is protecting, providing, say, if he's working 60, 70 hours, he is providing a secure home. Like, for example, my wife, she's a registered owner.
Of a weapon?
How to use it.
Oh, of a weapon. Okay.
I taught her how to use it. That is a part of the protection and security that I provide.
I mean, she didn't need you for that, but okay.
She did, because she didn't know how to use it before me.
I know she could have just paid somebody to teach her how to use it, but that's cool.
Yeah, she could have paid somebody to do that, or she could have went to, go to the man who loves and cares for her, who ain't going to charge her.
Okay, but she still could have done it, so she doesn't need you for that. That's my point.
Well, here's the thing: if I'm, who you think's paying for it? If she has to pay for it.
Well, that doesn't matter to me because she's at home taking care of shit at home, so it doesn't matter that you're paying for it. She's doing the home stuff. You're paying her to stay home.
Because I have my role and she has yours.
I know, so you're paying her to stay home. That's what I'm saying, right? I would hope so.
Well, I mean, it's not. I don't consider paying her to stay home. We are in a family structure. We do things in a family structural way. My money's her money. Her money's my money. We don't do this hers and mine. It's ours.
Yeah, but you're paying her to stay home. Somebody said this is why dogs don't like y'all.
Her to stay home. I provide for my woman because she is my woman.
You don't pay her to stay home?
Why would I pay her? You know what I'm saying? She has access to to anything that I make. It's not me paying her to stay home. Is we are a family. Whatever I make is also hers.
So how much do you think it would how much do you think it would cost to pay for like childcare?
Well, she takes care of all the children.
I know. I'm saying, let's say she wasn't there and you had to pay for childcare. How much do you think you would spend a month?
I honestly wouldn't know.
Probably $1,500, $2,000 a month, easily. She cooks for you and the family?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you think it would cost for you to pay for a personal chef?
Well, I know how to cook myself, so I wouldn't.
No. But she's cooking.
Assume with things that I do not need.
Hold on, wait.
For how much it would cost.
But that's the thing, though, because you're just okay.
For the price of milk, I can give you that.
No, okay. So Raider, basically, what's happening is you're stealing her labor and you're not paying her for it. And you're hold on, wait. Yeah, you are. You're stealing her labor because you are.
No, that sounds like crap.
It sounds like reality.
Here's the thing. No, that's not reality. Because here's the thing. I'm the one that. Because here's the thing. If she had a choice of going to work and staying home in their pajamas and kicking it with the kids, that's who you think she's actually going to choose. Versus she has a man that goes out and makes the money, who goes out in the sun, works hard, works his butt off, something that she does not have to do. Everything that she does at home, she can do in her pajamas.
Do you like your job?
Actually, I do.
You like your job? You say, you like sweating, working hard in the sun?
I find honor in it.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's an Raider. I'm not disrespecting the job. I'm asking, do you like it though? Like,
no. During the summer, it sucks.
It's brutal.
It's hot as hell.
Yeah.
So it sucks in the summer.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, you know what I mean? As a man, that's what I'm supposed to do.
I don't know about that. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. As a man, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be a man. You're supposed to work hard. And I'm in the blue collar business. I'm a certified welder. I build things.
Yeah.
So I go out and do my duty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I didn't have any kids, I didn't have a wife or whatever, would I still be doing what I'm doing? Yeah, but I would not be spending as much money per month as I'm doing now. I'll be in a single bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't. I almost guarantee you wouldn't be making the same amount of money if you were single. If your wife did, if you weren't, Raider, can I finish one sentence? Raider, do you mind if I finish the sentence real quick? If you weren't stealing your wife's labor, you wouldn't be able to go out and make as much money as you're doing right now. So that's what I'm saying. You should pay her for her labor.
Excuse me. If I did not have a wife, my expenses would be far more lower. So what are you talking about?
No, you would just make less money.
I wouldn't have to buy a house. I wouldn't have to get all these.
Why wouldn't you buy a house? Single people buy houses all the time. Hold on, Raider. Single people buy houses all the time. What are you talking about? Single women buy houses all the time.
Most women owners got their houses through divorce.
That's not true.
Most women homeowners got their homes in divorce. They did not pay for that house they are saving.
That's not true. Where did you get that from?
Yes, that is true.
Where did you get that from?
That is true.
Is that what you?
Thanks to Kevin Samuels, he already showed those stats.
No, he didn't.
He already showed those stats.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
But you haven't read them.
Most, for one, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, you want to say all they're also the number one ones losing their homes.
Are they?
Yes.
I haven't heard that.
If you take out divorce, because a lot of men lose their homes in divorce.
No, they don't.
If you take out divorce rates, if you talk about a woman who just bought her house, who worked hard, bought her house on her own, they're also the ones that's losing the house the most.
Raider, if you have a home with your wife, let me tell you how this works. I'm not divorced, but I know how this works. If you had a home with your wife and y'all bought the house 10 years ago or whatever, and there's equity in the home, she wouldn't just get the house the vast majority of the time. Y'all would sell the home and split the money. That's how it would work. If you couldn't come to some agreement where somebody could stay in the home, you would sell the home and split the money. So women don't be getting houses in divorces like that, and men don't be losing their houses. That ain't how it works. That's some y'all just be making up stuff.
The only ones not getting a house in divorce are the ones who didn't even own a home when they got divorced.
Say it again.
The only ones that's not getting the houses in divorce are mainly the ones that didn't even own a home when they got divorced.
Yeah, I hear that, but I'm just saying your misconception about how women get homes.
But you're coming up with an argument that I have to pay my wife for being a wife, even though I'm the one.
No, you should pay. No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. You should pay her for. Hold on, Raider. You should pay her for watching your kids because you would have to pay somebody to do that. You should pay her for cooking your meals because you would.
Pay for all that, then what's the point of having a wife?
So you agree that you look at wives as slaves?
No, that's a bull crap argument. I wouldn't lay my life down for a slave.
Yes, slave owners would lay their lives down for if somebody came. Yes, 100%, Raider, 100%. If some Raider, stop. Slaves were property. There are people who lay their lives down for their freaking cell phones and watches. You mean they wouldn't lay their lives down for a slave? You're a fool. Absolutely.
My wife, but here's the thing: my wife's not a slave.
She is a slave. You just said she was a slave.
She reciprocates my value, like I reciprocate hers.
What's your value?
We're in this together.
I know, but what's your value?
What's my value?
Hmm?
My family is my value.
That's not your value. Your family is your family. What is your value? What do you bring to the table besides money that she can make on her own?
Protection.
You're not protecting her.
Leadership.
You don't lead them. She leads the home. Sir, you're gone for 60 hours a week. She leads the home. She doesn't need you for protection. She got a gun. You just told us that. The only thing you provide is money.
How many hours are in a week?
Huh?
How many hours are in a week?
Minus the ones that we're sleeping?
Well, I'm still.
There's 24. Look, let's do the math. You work 60 hours a week. You work. Hold on. Wait. I want to do this math. You work 12 hours a day, I'm assuming. You work 12 hours a day, I'm assuming, right? 60 hours a week?
Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
I actually sometimes I work 6 days a week.
You work 6 days a week, and that's another 12 hours. So you work 72 hours a week. Okay.
60 to 72.
Yep, 60 to 72. Okay, let's go high. Let's go 72 hours a week. That's 12 hours a day. Minus the 12 hours, you got another 12 hours to be awake or whatever. You sleep for 6 to 8. So now you got 4 hours left over. You got to get to work.
I don't even sleep 8 hours.
6 hours. That's what I'm saying. Okay, cool. So you got 10 hours. You got 10 hours. But you got to get to work. But to get to work, you got to get dressed. So it take you about an hour to get to work and get dressed and get all your shit together, right? So minus 2 hours, a day on doing that. Yeah.
It don't take me no damn hour to get myself ready and get to work.
I didn't. How long does it take you to get your shit on and get to work?
Oh shit, about 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes, so an hour a day. So subtract an hour. You're left with like 3 or 4 hours a day that you're in the home actually participating. Your wife, on the other hand, is in the home 24 hours a day, minus the time she sleeps 16 hours a day. You want me to believe, and you make me, but she's still in the home. Huh?
Minus the time that the kids are in school.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. She's still in the home doing all the shit for the home. Still doing all the mental labor for the home, planning, all of that stuff. That's her. She is the leader.
And I'm doing all the physical labor outside of the home.
So you're not doing anything. Listen, Raider. In the home, she's the leader. You just make a paycheck. That's all you do. You bring home money. You bring home money, sir. That's all you do. That's it.
That's all you say. No, that's all you're saying I do.
That's all you told me you've done so far. You haven't told me anything else you do.
What? You think I don't spend any time with my kids?
No. I'm not saying you don't, but you haven't told me that. I'm just telling you what you told me.
No, that part is actually the least important.
Spending time with your kids?
No. What happens inside the home? The most important things is how the home is ran. Yes, she is the nurturer. She is their teacher. I am the protector. I'm the provider.
She's the protector. You're not there. She protects your kids. She's not. You're not. What are you talking about?
If a crime is going to be committed at my home, usually when our crimes mostly committed during nighttime when I'm home.
Oh,
wrong. Actually, most break-ins happen when nobody's in the house. They happen during the day when nobody's in the house, typically.
Yeah. If nobody's in the house, if she's in the damn house, they probably ain't gonna break in because one, I got some big ass dogs.
Mm-hmm. Also put 5 on it. Also put 5 on Raider head.
Not you. So it's
Who provided it?
She did.
That's part of the.
I just wanted to mention something really quick. Hey, 42% of women purchase their own homes. Only 17% of women own their homes because of a divorce. 48, and women are the largest homeowner demographic in the United States. Single women above single men. Only like 30% of single men buy their own homes.
And the most in debt. Don't forget that part.
I know, but Raider, hold on, brother. I know you want.
Households in America are led by women.
Yeah, I know you want to.
And guess what? And that's the problem.
Well, wait, but Raider, your wife runs your home. Why is that the problem for other homes?
Here's the thing. She runs the home when I'm not there.
And you're never there, so she runs the home all the time.
No, I'm never there.
You're never there. You're gone for 20 hours a day, minimum. 20 hours a day. 8 sleep.
20 hours a day. For one, no, I'm not going 20 hours a day.
You are gone for 20 hours a day.
About 12 hours, 45 minutes.
12 hours, 45 minutes, plus your time sleeping.
That's in the home.
You're gone mentally. You're not there. When you're sleeping, it doesn't count.
I'm not going mentally because if I hear a creak in the night, I'm going to wake the hell up.
Sir, that is irrelevant. So is your wife. She has a gun.
Are you afraid? Are you live in a crime-ridden neighborhood, bro? How often is there creaks in the night? How often you gotta go to
I live in California. You damn right, it's crime ridden.
I've been. So how many times have you had to run a robber out of your
house? Hold on. Wait up here.
How many times you had to run a robber out of your house, bro?
Never.
Okay. So hold up. Since you want to ask that, 3 weeks ago, somebody pulled up on me and blasted at me.
What city you live in?
I live in Coachella Valley.
They blasted at you in Coachella Valley?
Yeah, this ain't the first time. Crime is always getting committed in this area.
Coachella Valley, actually, no, I know Coachella Valley is a little. It ain't. Yeah, it's.
And this is where I live at right now. But I'm from San Bernardino.
Yeah, which is San Bernardino is San Bernardino is the smurder capital of California. San Bernardino is the smurder capital of California.
Here's the thing, my woman, she will personally tell you there's been
plenty of times. So Raider, hold on. Let me paint this picture for you. This is what I'm hearing right now. Right? Here's what I be talking about: living on one man's income. You work hard. I ain't denying that. I don't want no tea, no shade, brother. You working hard. I respect it. But let's be real. You got your family in a crime-ridden neighborhood, right? Honestly, because that's how you describing it. This ain't my words, and I know.
We're planning on moving, but
that's 10. Sure. I know. Hold on, wait. Listen to what I'm saying, Raiders. No shade. Just tell me, stop me when I'm wrong, because it's what you've been telling me this whole time. You live in a so that you guys can so that you can make sure your wife is a wife slave. Y'all are sacrificing living in a better neighborhood because if she worked, you guys will be able to live in a better neighborhood, no doubt about it, right? So the quality of life will go up for. Hold on, Raider. Listen, the quality of life will go up for everybody. You, your kids, your wife, everybody's life gets better if your wife can work.
False.
How is that false?
The quality of life for our kids will go down if she did. If she went to work.
You just said they're at school most of the time. They're going to go to a better school.
but here's the thing. She gets out. They get out around a little after 2:00. I don't get home until about 7:30.
Oh yeah, you ain't never at home.
So I don't. Well, I work from 7 to 7.
7 to 7. I know it's a long ass shift.
So, well, here's the thing. I got in trouble when I was younger, so I'm playing catch up. Because bottom line is, retirement is a real thing. You have to have money to retire on.
No shit.
So I am busting my butt right now to do my catch up. You know what I'm saying? Because I started later than I should have. Because I would tell all young men, when you turn 18, no, don't be worrying about partying women. No, you use between the age of 18 and 40, you need to be busting your ass 60 to 72 hours a week so you can provide a means for a family.
Hey,
you don't have kids until you're 30.
Hey, Raider, somebody got a question for you. Essence said, why does he abuse the dogs that protect his family?
Abuse the dogs? How am I abusing the dogs?
How you were yelling at him, apparently.
Oh, well, no, she came out here barking at one of my neighbors who didn't deserve to get barked. I'm telling her to shut the hell up and go in the house. Okay. That's abuse.
I mean, the tone was it was a little wild, but
no, just doing their job. Well, here's the thing: the neighbor ain't a threat, and it ain't.
How do they know that?
Well, because the neighbor just been around here forever. The neighbor ain't never done nothing.
You got to train the dog better.
Outside of the house is a threat.
But like I said, but that's not.
You ain't there enough with your dog. You got to train him more. You
dog I told to shut up. It's not a guard dog. It's a tiny ass bug.
You just said you had 2 big ass dogs.
No, I do.
Oh, these are the different dogs. This is a different dog. Okay.
No, I got different. I got multiple dogs.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I bought her. She wanted a micro bully, so I bought her a micro bully. You know what I mean? But bottom line, she's out here just barking at nothing. Hell, she barks at moving objects that, you know what I'm saying, paper bags.
Yeah, bark at that. She's a dog. So, yeah.
Yeah, so bottom line is, no, I told her to go in the house because I'm on this live with you, and she over here, I can't hear nothing. Take your butt in the house. She don't even
hey, brother, I'm just asking the question. That's a nice doggy. Look at that doggo. I got okay, so you don't think that it is you don't think it would be more beneficial to your family to for your wife to work at this point with your kids being in school?
Well, she doesn't want to. I'm not gonna make her.
Okay.
That would be a slave. If anybody's a slave over here, it's me. I'm a slave. I'll be a slave before she is.
But you get paid.
And she gets provided for.
No, that sounds like Raider. That's what slavers used to do. Hold on, slaver. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, brother.
Slavers get a bare minimum.
Nah, bro. What?
Give her the bare minimum.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Slavers, not slaves. The slave masters, they got money for off the labor of the slaves, but they got the money. Right? And then what did they give the slave? They never gave the slaves money. They just gave the slaves healthcare and food, minimal food, whatever the barest of bare necessities.
Outside of the house ninjas, slaves weren't allowed in the big house. They didn't get to eat.
It's not a one-to, brother. I get it. It's not a one-to-one.
They had to eat leftovers and pig guts.
I got you.
That's why I'm feeding my woman.
No, listen to what I'm saying. It's not a one-to-one, but the dynamics are very similar. That's what I'm trying to help you understand.
In that case, I'm a damn slave. Why do you think I bought this house? I did it for her.
No, you didn't. Go ahead, Jones. Go ahead, please.
All the stuff that's in that house. No. Let me finish. All the stuff that is in that house that she enjoys, I got it for her because she asked.
Because she there all the damn time doing slave work.
I don't have to get if anybody's doing the most slave work, it's me.
It's her.
Raider, can I ask you a question? Raider, I'm trying to put it in perspective for you so you can understand, brother. Just please listen to me. If you had to hire a babysitter, right?
I asked him this, Jones.
If you had to hire a chef.
I did this, Jones.
Hire a chef, a housekeeper. You know what I'm saying? Like on and on and on. Bro, like, do you know how much all of that would cost you? Like, she's putting in more work, more hours than you.
Hold on, Lynn. Jones. Hold on, Lynn, Raider, hold on, man. Hold on, Raider. Answer. This shit is crazy.
$45 an hour. Do you think my wife
Raider, bro, you let somebody else talk, fam?
This shit is crazy. I'm trying to.
Jesus Christ, do you do this to your wife?
This shit is wild. Look, Mr. Jones asked you a question. He asked you the same question I asked you, but I want you to give him the same response you gave me. Tell him what you told me.
Okay, repeat the question.
The question is, if you ask Mr. Jones, go ahead, ask it.
If you had to hire a child care provider and somebody to clean your house and somebody to cook meals and somebody to provide transportation for your children back and forth to doctors.
That's $15 on Raider. Go ahead.
I would never hire any of that. For one, I don't trust strangers with my children.
No, that's not the point. I'm a single father. I'm a single Raider, be quiet, bro. Raider, goddamn.
You want to do a hypothetical question? Don't question what might be. Question what is. Question what is, not this hypothetical crap.
Okay, so can you answer the question like you?
Question what is.
Bro is not well.
Can you answer the question?
I'm very well.
How much do you think it involves?
Mr. Jones, I have the perfect what is question. Let me have
Another what if hypothetical.
No. A real life question. You brought up retirement, and I'm happy you brought that up. I have a question for you. How are you saving for retirement, Raider? I love finances. This is my shit. How are you saving for retirement, Raider?
By living under my means and not spending everything.
401k. Wait, do you have a pension, a 401k, a Roth IRA? How are you saving for retirement?
Nah, I'm not getting 401k or anything like that. I just gotta save.
You just got a savings account. So okay.
What?
When you that's
what?
No. I'm not gonna sit. Hold up. I'm not gonna sit up and act like I even understand 401k. Like I said, I started doing what I'm doing a little bit later in the game than I should have. Because
20 on Raider.
When I was younger, I was too busy getting in trouble.
No,
20.
Raider, that's fine. But another question. So if you divorce your wife, does she get half of everything you have?
22.
Is that fair to say? Does she get like half of the house, half of the savings? Is that fair? You're gonna give her half?
Okay, well, here, this is how it goes. Here's the thing.
No, can you answer that? Or you
No.
give her half?
I'm going to answer it. And it's not a yes or no. It's not a yes or no question. It's not black and white. Why are we divorcing?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
What the?
It does.
So
What the?
Give her half.
She got tired of you not participating in the house. That's why.
Fuck.
Because she got tired of you not participating in the household. She got tired of you not participating in the household. That's why.
That's why. Because she got tired of you not participating.
Oh well, that would not be the.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. How you gonna say I'm not participating in something I provide? How you gonna say I'm not participating in something that I provide?
Okay, hold on, y'all.
That sounds crazy.
Hey, hold on. I gotta read this. Let me read this Cash App, and then we're gonna bring it back because this is funny. Appreciate the Cash App. It said the most in debt because we bought a house. Raider said women are most in debt. Yeah, because they go to.
Because they get useless degrees in college.
I knew you was about to say. Hold on, wait. But
Crazy.
hold on, wait. But Raider,
Like women, bro.
he don't. But Raider,
How you talking about like women? I'm married.
but Raider, I know. And this is my proof. And this is my my proof that men who marry women don't like women. Raider.
Some men are cool to hang out with. I don't like all women, but some women are actually cool to hang out with.
That's
No,
35 on that
like
boy head.
ridiculous people.
Hold on,
I
wait.
don't like ridiculous people.
Raider. I want to tell you something. What I'm saying is that women get degree. You just told us instead of chasing women and spending money at 18, set yourself up for success. That's what I would tell men. What better way for a person to be successful in this country than to go get a degree?
Raise a successful family.
That's not logical. Make it make sense. Let's go back.
I agree with that because here's the thing. When we weren't getting degrees, when we weren't doing any of that, when our people couldn't even read, they had successful family homes that led to the
They weren't nuclear families. They weren't nuclear families.
No, they weren't.
They were multi-generational and multi-family homes. Like, and we're looking at Lake Lanier, Tulsa, We're looking
Big ass houses.
No. You're saying what you're saying is full of crap.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
During the time of Jim
That's a real known fact, bro. What are you talking about?
During the time of Jim Crow, during the time of Jim Crow, we lived like Mexicans. We took care of each other. It was a.
That's what he just said.
That's what
That's what he just said. That's what he just said.
Is gone.
Those weren't nuclear families.
He just Jones just said it. He just said the same thing.
No, he said they aren't nuclear families. What are you talking about? He said they're not nuclear
Sir,
families.
and I don't want disrespect. Shout out, hold on, Lynn. Shout out to all my Mexicanos. There's no disrespect to La Raza. I'm saying, or what Jones is saying, is that Mexican households are multi-generational. It be grandmas in there, Titos, and everybody be in there. Everybody be in that motherfucker, right?
And I consider that the purest form of nuclear family.
That's not a nuclear family. That's not a nuclear family.
It is.
That's not.
It's not.
That's not a nuclear family.
Hold up. Here's the thing. That is the nuclear family. That's the origination of.
That's not the nuclear family, Raider.
Nuclear family is something that was
here's the thing.
created by white people in the 50s.
It's not what you agree with.
Whether
It's.
you agree or not.
Oh my God, I can't do it.
And Raider, I just want to know, if reading wasn't so important in education, then why didn't they allow the slaves to read? Why didn't they just teach them how to read and give them books then, if that's not important? Why is that?
What does reading have to do with? What does reading have to do with family?
What does
Explain that.
reading have to do? You know, but that we were doing better when we weren't educated. Then why didn't they educate?
No, I'm
slaves?
saying,
Tell
I'm
me
talking
why.
about when it came to a family unit, when it came to family, when it came to unity, yes, we did better under far harsher circumstances than we're doing today.
We were much more educated at that time. I don't know what you're talking about, Fred. Like, we were literally more educated because we had our own schools in our own neighborhoods, and the teachers in those neighborhoods took better care in educating their children.
Didn't Martin Luther King Jr. go to college?
He sure did. Hold on, Raider. Here's the thing. Raider, here's the thing. Let me read this cash app. Let me read this super chat. Miss Not For Everyone, shout out. She said he talked too much for a male. Go ahead, Raider. You are over talking everybody, Raider. You gotta come on, brother.
Here's the thing. I'm doing 4 against 1.
You right.
Yeah, I gotta kind of equal it out.
I know you're right, and I don't want to dog pile on you. You're right. That's my fault.
Well, here's the thing. I came up here to talk directly between you and me.
Okay.
I think you say a lot of stuff that is not good for the black community.
Be specific. Name one thing.
Well, you know how being a feminist, for example, I think that's horrible. I think feminism, feminism is one of the main catastrophic things that happened to the black nucleus.
Okay, and what is feminism?
Well, what it started off as with the definition.
What is the definition of feminism? Yeah, what is the definition of feminism?
They want equal rights. They
Who?
want equal rights.
Okay.
But today, feminism is not about equal rights.
No. I don't care about your interpretation. I'm saying, what is the definition of feminism?
Well, they want equal rights, but
for who?
No.
Don't make. I don't care about your assumptions. Listen to what I'm saying, Raider. So it is. It's not.
What they're about saying it.
Okay.
We got receipts on it.
Hold on, Raider. Give me, since you believe that to be true, name one policy that women are responsible for that hurts men.
You talking about policy? I'm talking about ideology.
Ideologies mean nothing without.
Here's the thing. No, the ideology has spread amongst women, which is poisoning families.
So what? So by your logic, then you think reverse racism is a real thing, right?
You mean, do I think black people can be racist? Absolutely, yeah.
Lord.
I've seen it. No, I'm not somebody.
Lord. And you don't.
It's only systemic.
And you don't think that. Oh man, they paid to clip them. You don't think that.
You got lucky, bro, because I was about to literally walk you.
You think?
Sorry for
Go ahead. Hold on. Wait, Muhammad. Wait up, Muhammad. the thing that's crazy about that is saying that I say things that are harmful to the black community, and then in the next breath say that black people can be racist.
Say stuff that's harmful to the black community is crazy.
That's wild.
Diabolical.
That's crazy.
Not to mention the anti-intellectualism, like
Tons of anti-intellectualism.
Don't go to college, black people. Don't get educated. It's not good for us. That's not harmful to the black community.
For sure, Trump supporter.
100%. 100%. You for sure. You black women getting your degrees, getting those useless degrees. What were you doing when you were 18, Raider? Oh, I was just chasing women and being frivolous with my money, and now I got to catch up.
That's a man who does not know what a 401k is. He does not understand how retirement works. Like
College
women who have debt.
College might have helped you with that.
You don't even know how to prepare, right? You don't even know how to prepare for retirement correctly. What are you talking about?
That boy got mattress money. He putting all this shit underneath. Oh my God! All right, Shan. Yeah, that boy got mattress money.
And I just wanted to know how he's going to afford him and his wife retirement when y'all can't even afford to live in a safe neighborhood. Tell me how that's conducive to your wife. Like, how is that going to work when you decide to retire and you don't even have enough money for the both of you to retire on? Please tell me how that's going to work for her. I bet you she hasn't even. Yes, I have a 401k and a Roth IRA. I actually have a Roth IRA and a Roth 401k. So I'm prepared for retirement, and I'm going to retire a millionaire, Big Cam.
I gotta read these super chats, y'all. Pretty Scorp, I appreciate the super chat. They said they love to devalue women's labor. 100%. 100%. That was crazy. Love one. The nuclear family was created by patriarchy to isolate U.S. women and keep us divided and believing in the myth of man as the head. Leadership and partnership is not the same. Absolutely. Well said. It's not for everyone. We read that already. She said, it's not for everyone. Appreciate the super chat. She said, it's a panel. You want a 1v1? That's a phone call. I didn't see your super chat, loved one. I missed it. Oh, okay. I just read it right now. Wait, okay. Osa paid to drop. Y'all thank Osa. She paid to drop Mr. Raider. She said, I can't do it. Get him out of here. We tired of you on YouTube's. Star Moon Gay said, I cannot marry or procreate with such an ignorant ninja like Raider. Free his wife. Jesus Christ. Melinda said, can you ask him why he isn't at work right now? Hey, Melinda told that boy to clock in. I love it. Oh man. All right, go ahead, y'all. Yeah, I'm glad we got through those. Damn.
Hey yo, hey Pump, can you tell me how you do the super chat joint?
Oh, it's on YouTube.
No, I stream on YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll tell you how to do it. I'll call you afterwards.
Right,
yeah.
Cool.
Yep. What's up, Coach T? Coach T, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Bub?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
We rocking, as you can see. We humping and jumping.
I can see. I can see. It's a lot of things going on here.
We need a woo side after that. We was all getting agitated. Everybody was helping.
Just the cognitive dissonance is just uncanny. I just can't believe that people is that grown
can't make this shit up.
Kids and wives and families and the nucleus and it was just a lot of words happening.
Mm-hmm.
You can always tell who doesn't read books and who didn't go to school. You can always tell. But aside from that, I'm pretty sure that's Osa daddy. That gotta be Osa father.
Yes, the nucleus family.
You think that's Osa daddy? He was bad, man. But man, Osa a different level of bad. I can't stand that guy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good, puppy. It's your world. I'm just a squirrel. Speaking of books, Mr. Jones X, I wanted to come up and talk a little bit about. I made a video about this on my page too. It's a book by Stephanie Coontz. Stephanie Koontz. She has 2 books, and one of them is called The Way We Never Were, The Nostalgia Trap in the American Family. And it talks extensively about how we've been fed a lie of a family and a world and a society and culture that really never existed. All of this stuff about a nuclear family and a husband and a wife and a stay-at-home, all of that, it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we really, she might be related to Dean Koontz. I'm saying I'm getting distracted. But the more that we lean into this idea and the mythos and the mythology of a nuclear family, we pigeonhole and trap ourselves into capitalism, basically, but also unhappiness and trauma and abuse. And it's just a cycle, a never-ending cycle that just keeps continuing to play and play and play as generations of Americans keep falling into this trap. And then so she goes into The Way We Really Are. So it's The Way We Never Were. And then in her other book, The Way We Really Are, she talks about what the American family really is and the foundation and the establishment of how this fantasy keeps us away from really actualizing ourselves as individuals and people, but in our relationships. And so I really want to encourage everybody to check those books out. It's Stephanie Koontz, K-O-N-T-Z. And she may be related to Dean Koontz. I feel like that might be in her biography that she is. But yeah, for people who don't read or just people who can't think critically for themselves and examine their own experiences, it's like for some reason they cling to this idea that, a nuclear family is the best family. And what it really does is it keeps us siloed, it keeps us separated, and it keeps us away from each other and really being able to build up our relationships and our connections in the way that we should, so that we can be healthy people, mostly
Hold on, Coach. I'm sorry. My mama just came in here. Mama, where you? I just seen you come in here. Where you at? I sent you an invite. Yeah, she just slid in here. My mama up in here.
Huh?
I said it was meant so that because even some white communities, European based communities, like Italian people, Irish people, Jewish people, when they first came to the United States, they weren't considered white, and so they had very communal families. Jewish people often still do. Some Italian families still do, more traditional ones, where they have multi-generational and multi-family homes. But they intentionally did this so that they started closing down manufacturing facilities and jobs in the cities, and then they started building all of these housing developments out in the suburbs. And then then they started building, creating the jobs out there closer to them. But it was it was a capitalism ploy, but two, it was a separation, like a further segregation of racial demographics.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, like Black people are communal by nature. That's why you see Black people constantly calling people who aren't actually related to them brother, cousin.
Jones, I think all people are communal by nature. I think human beings are communal by nature. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a Black thing.
That's
I think
not necessarily true. We've learned from epigenetics, right? Because people from more scarce, areas of the world that were more scarce in resources, like colder climates, doesn't have a lot of vegetation, so on and so forth. They had to actually fight their own family members and things of that nature for access to resources. Where people that came from continents or geographical locations that were abundant in resources were more communal because there was an abundance of resources, and so they could share amongst each other. That's why you see people from a specific area on the map, right? Trying to conquer the rest of the world and take all their resources.
Yeah, that's definitely a part. Yeah, for sure. Okay, that makes sense. I the reason why I said that too is because even what we were talking about right now, all the European people, definitely Eastern Europeans, all live in the same home. Russians live in the same homes. You know what I'm saying? They still get down like that. It'd be granny and grandpa and everybody be in the same house. Even in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it was if I'm not mistaken, it was 4 grandparents in that house in them beds, and it was a mama, a daddy, Charlie. You know what I'm saying? It just to me, it seems like most human beings are communal. It does seem that way. And I do agree that, because you could say that even about on the continent of Africa, there was scarcity going on there too. If it was, you know what I mean? Like if you live like in the Sahara or something like that, and it was super duper dry and desolate, right? Same rules would apply then at that point.
When people started to migrate across like the planet, it was because like at the end of, we're technically still kind of like in the end of the last ice age, but when the temperature started to heat up and the desert started to create, the human species had to move away from there. So they moved from there down into like India, then from India to Australia, and then Australia up through what is now China, and then up and across the land bridge into the Americas. It wasn't until much later that they moved, further up into Europe, and started to like commingle with Neanderthal, the Neanderthal species. But yeah, so like I said, it's just a genetic trait. But yeah, like the Sahara wouldn't have really been an issue in that time period, like when people started to move.
Bet. That's what's up.
Move about the continents.
Bet. That's interesting. That's interesting as fuck. Coach T, you want to say something?
Yeah, that brings up another interesting point about this idea of a nuclear family and the transition in ideologies from being more communal or tribal to, just in a household, is that you lose the idea of everybody having a role and a purpose. So specifically in our culture, with people being obsessed with being youthful or like being young, they don't have a real concern for what happens to older people. So if it's just your nuclear family, what happens to the older adults as they age? What's supposed to happen to them? Are you supposed to just leave them in the house by themselves to do whatever alone, or are we supposed to take care of one another? So it's a very short-sighted concept and view of family and of relationships when you leave out, okay, well, what's supposed to happen to people as they age? In more communal, more tribal cultures, there is a respect and an understanding and a value in being older or getting old or being old. You serve a purpose in your community.
I want to real quick. I got somebody on the YouTubes. Musey, come on up if you. I mean, I'm sure you can because you tapping. If you could tap, you could yap. Definitely, come on up. You see the link. I'll bring you up right away. Interesting comment. Most black women filing for divorce for just. Hold on, Nia, you wrong. Most black women filing for divorce for just filing's sake. They don't even make no sense. Yeah, come on up. I need to hear that. Hey, Coach T, I appreciate you coming up. I'm gonna rotate you out. Lynn, you got something else you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say, when it comes to like the nuclear family and our like the Black community, I'm just confused as to where we went wrong, and I guess I'm gonna read that book that she's talking about because even we went further than messing up the nuclear family, because like not only do we not even have the family that we so want to attain, we also go as far as to like when your kid turns a certain age, kicking them out, putting them out, which doesn't really happen in other communities. Like, oh, your kid is 18 now, you gotta get out, you gotta fend for yourself. And then the generations above that, like grandparents, go as far as to like, oh no, I gotta live my life on my own now. Like, I can't help you with your kids. This is all your responsibility. So it's like, not only are we messing up the nuclear family, like, which, okay, kind of make it work, especially if you make enough money, you can get outside help, like a nanny or maids or whatever the case may be. But we even dwindle ourselves down further than that. And I'm wondering, is that through epigenetics? Is that through like us having like a scarcity mindset where it's like fend for yourself because we've been let down so many times? Maybe.
I don't think the nuclear family was ever something we were interested in as a whole. I don't think most black people, when it was, starting to become a thing, I don't think most of us was like, man, we got to get there. I'm sure a lot of black people did aspire to reach that, but I think most of us was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I don't think we went wrong anywhere when it comes to the nuclear family. Also, white people turned on the nuclear family. I mean, like the whole hippie movement was not only about the nuclear family, but a lot of it was them rejecting the nuclear family. That's why they used to like have communes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, that's the thing that I always find funny, because a lot of black men will come up here and have this revisionist history and talk about, like, what's his name earlier? King was up here yapping about, you know, in the 80s. And I was like, wait, white people had already revolted against the nuclear family in the 60s and 70s. They was already over it. And the nuclear family didn't even start getting pushed really until the 50s. So it really was like a decade of them like hardcore pushing, like a decade, 15 years. They were like hardcore pushing it. And then white people was like, nah, I'm out. The young white people was like, nah, this shit is stupid. And they freaking flipped the table over. So I'm like, even they rejected it, and they were white tea. And they had access to it, and they were like, nah, we're good. So what do you think black people was doing?
But I think that they have the access, like, I think that they have the generational wealth more so than we do. And they, like, you don't have to have a nuclear family with them, because, I mean, you can or you can't. Because if not, I have generational wealth, I can hire outside help. But I don't even think we have that luxury as a people. We haven't even developed ourselves to have generational wealth. So if my grandparents are older and they're not doing anything, why can't you? And I mean, I guess y'all can have the freedom to say, well, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to help. No one's obligated. But like, if we want to talk about family and get back to the family unit, like, y'all got to talk to y'all parents about why y'all parents feel like I don't have to help you. And I like it's a whole system. Like we always talk about, like capitalism, not having enough money to be able to retire adequately. So your parents got to work till they're 75 and stuff like that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a scarcity mindset. That's all it is. Because, I mean, the resources are actually scarce, right? Like, we don't really have that many resources. I would never, me personally, I would never kick my children out. I mean, I can't, my oldest son can't get put out anyway, but yeah, I'm already conditioning my son to stay with us until he married. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already planting the seeds. Like, you can live here with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can raise your kids with us. Like, we'll just buy a bigger house. Like, don't even trip. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll go buy some land and we'll build a home over here, and we'll build our home right here. Like, we're already like, you know, trying to plant that seed so he don't have that mindset of like, I got to get out and get my own. And like, no, you don't ever really have to do that. Like, it's fine. We could always live together. It doesn't make like,
right. I agree with that 100%. I think that's excellent.
And I've already told my wife millions of times that I'm not playing. If my son goes to college somewhere, and like, because I'm like, we live in Southern California. You throw a stone, the best colleges are here. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, definitely on the West Coast. So I'm like, you can go anywhere. You can go to UCLA. That's damn near like going to an Ivy League school. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to go far. You can go to UC Irvine, great school. You can go to UC. There's a bunch of UCs around here. You can go to USC if you get a scholarship. I ain't paying for that shit. You can go to you know, any Cal State. There's college is college. Go to school, get your fucking degree. But at the same time, I mean, but if my kid, for whatever reason, if he had to fucking get up and he wanted to go to NYU or something for some, hey dad, I just really want to be the next Spike Lee or whatever, I'm moving to New York. Like, that nigga. I'm not letting bro leave me, bro. My son, I can't be without. I have to be around my kid. Like, I have to be with them all the time. I can't never see myself like not around them. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how that fit. I don't want to know what that feels like. Let's put it like that. Like, I'm always going to be like trying to be in their lives or like whatever. Like, if he got some crazy degree somewhere or some crazy, they gave him something to Harvard or something like that, and he just got to go. Like, nah, we moving. He gonna have his system there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna be there. We gonna be supporting him. Yeah, that's crazy. I just can't see it. But, you know, I'm setting them up to stay with us, man. I don't understand parents that kick their kids out at 18. C. Dave said his kids got to leave. That's why I brought him up. C. Dave, why you trying to kick your kids out, baby?
Let's go ahead and make this quick. Let's make this money, man.
Why you got to kick your babies out, man?
Oh man, they gotta. So at a certain age, yeah. So at a certain age, man, your kids gotta be old enough where they gotta survive on their own.
Why?
That doesn't mean that, you know, at 18 they gotta go or something like that. My rule is, you know, as long as you're like in college or you're doing something productive, to go forward, yeah, we're gonna help you out. Me and my wife, we're gonna help you out. But you can't stay with mommy and daddy for the rest of your life. You gotta go.
Why not?
Get out. So what? Say why not?
Why not?
Because then they never learn to be on their own, right? So then, if you are, I got boys. So for my sons, if you want to get married, you want to have children, you want to be an adult, then you have to be an adult. You can't bring your wife and your children and your kids in our house.
Why not?
And expect us to. I'm explaining it to you.
Oh, okay.
And expect us to take care of it, because one, that's going to increase finances for us. That's going to increase bills for us and everything like that. You as a man, you have to go out and establish a life for your wife and your children. Right?
Well, I get the working part, see, Dave. I'm with you on the work. Like, you got to work. I get, like, how you gonna have a wife and kids and not work? Of course not. But I'm saying, he's gonna be working. Most people work, so the wife and the kid are probably gonna work. But why can't they stay with y'all? I'm not understanding.
Because it's his family. I'm not responsible. So me as a grandparent at that point, or I'm not responsible to take care of your wife and your children. Right? You have to get out and go get your own living. You have to go out and get your own house. You have to go out and make your way.
In this economy?
Yes, in this economy. So that's why it's beneficial for you. Like I said, if my children are going to college, you can stay here rent free, no problem. If you are going to a trade school, you can stay here rent free, no problem. We will even help you get your own house. We will even help you get your own car. We're not abandoning you. Just because you say your child can't stay with you no more, you can go live your life, doesn't mean that mommy and daddy is not here for you. You fall on hard times, we got you, son. Hey, you need a little money because we got you. We still gonna be here to support you, but you have to go out and make your own way. You cannot sit up under mommy and daddy for your entire life, and you damn sure can't have your own family and raise your kids and all that stuff under mommy and daddy's roof. So if you're not gonna like our rules.
So if you got sick and you was unhealthy in your older age, who gonna take care of you?
What you talking? If I get sick in my older age,
yeah.
I'm not understanding your question.
If you can't take care of yourself, or it becomes difficult for you and your wife to take care of yourselves, who's gonna take care of you?
Oh, we'll go to an old folks home.
Okay.
Yeah, no, see, and that's the other thing. My children are not responsible to take care of me when I get old. I'm not going to impose on their life. So if me and my wife, we 80-something years old, we can't wipe our ass, we going to go to the old folks home. We going to live gracefully together there and then go on about our way. My kids,
fingers crossed.
Fingers
crossed. Fingers crossed, because you know how them old folks home, they love to abuse the elderly. But go ahead, I'm listening.
I mean, that is true. But one thing I'm saying is that it is not my child's job to take care of me when I get older.
Not job, but I was just saying, because most of the time the kids are the ones who do take care of their parents when they get older.
No, don't get it twisted. I want them to come, visit and do all that stuff. Yeah, but I don't ever want to.
Not all of y'all.
I don't ever have to live with my children. I don't want my children to ever have the burden of taking care of their parents. So this is why I set ourselves up, at least.
Can I ask you, in a different society, let's say we didn't have old folks' homes. Who would take care of you?
What kind of society you talking about? So back in,
let's just say old, because old folks' home is a relatively new thing, that's a capitalistic invention, right? So
we were more communal back then. So the village or the community would take care of
you. Yeah. So you saying that's not the best? You see what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, it just seems like the children say that. I think that's how it's set up to be. Like, I think naturally it's set up for the kids to take care of the parents and the parents to take care of the kids. And you just kind of there's a transition. Like my boy, he lives with his mom, right? He's in his 30s. I won't even say he lives with her at this point. He literally took over the bill because he makes significantly more money than her. He went to school. He got his MBA. He makes 6 figures, like all of that stuff. He pays all the bills at the house now, right? Okay. So I guess technically his mama lives with him, but he been living in that same house for 35 years, 36 years of his life.
And if that works for him, that's fine. Like we always have this blanket thing where everybody has to do the same thing. If that works for him, then that's perfectly fine.
I think
for me, that's not something that I would want to do with my children. Like I don't want to be living with my children. I don't want my children to have to worry about me. I don't want my children to think that they have the responsibility to take care of me when I no longer take care of myself. Live your life. I've lived my life.
But even
live your life, take care of your family, and do the things that's best for you and your family. Mama and daddy gonna be all right. But I've set that up.
But even in the old folks' home, they still got to take care of you, right?
Who do?
Your kids, they still gonna have to worry about you and check in on you. They still have to take care of you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why I said they can come check in on me.
I'm saying, but even then, there's still a great responsibility on them to make sure you know what I mean? Like, so you can't escape them taking care of you. Like, they're going to take care of you no matter what. And you're like, well, it's not my responsibility to take care of them. And I'm like, but it definitely is.
When I'm talking about taking care, I'm talking about 1, financially, 2, space as far as inside their home, 3, not having to worry about revolving their life around their older parents, right? So, for example, I can give you, like, if they want to take a trip, if they're responsible for taking care of me in my old age, and they want to go take a 14-day cruise, now they have to worry about who's going to take care of mommy and daddy, who's going to make sure they eat, who's going to do all that stuff. I am impacting their lives as well. You get what I'm saying? So it's not always just about them taking care of me, but there are things that cause
See, Dave, sometimes that happens regardless if we want it to happen or not. That's not up to us. I have a friend who her mom has Alzheimer's and she is in a home. However, her mind, like my friend's mind, she's anxious, she's depressed, and she's suffering because she still has to check on her mom. And she understands that. She's going to therapy for that. And that's all I'll leave it at. But I also want to say, C. Dave, do you think that the family who purchased like acres of land and they all built separate homes on the acres of land, that they shouldn't have done that? Like they're worried about each other. They shouldn't have done that. We should all have our own land. Or for example, my cousins, they both played in the NFL. They bought homes right next door to each other. And their mom's house is around the street, around the corner. And then they prompted my other family to, we should all buy homes around the corner from each other. And we should buy up a block. It's in Lake Elsinore Pub. My entire family is buying homes in Lake Elsinore up the street from each other so we can live in a community and we can kind of control the school district. And if you're busy one day, we can send one kid to your house and the other kid to their house. And we can just all be surrounded by each other. So is that wrong? Like, is that something that's like, oh, mommy and daddy or your cousins taking care of you?
No, I'm not against that. I think that's okay. That's pretty smart. If you buy land, and kind of building a community and that type of aspect, yeah, I have no issues with that.
So what's the difference from living in the same roof? What if you're in an area where you can't populate like a large amount of land? So like your son gets married and him and his wife, like it'll be financially beneficial for both you and your wife and your son and his wife to move in and like you all take care of the finances together.
Yeah,
you're able to retire comfortably. Your son and his wife can retire comfortably. Maybe y'all can now afford to buy a vacation home as a family.
Yeah, no, under the same roof, no, that's a no-go. And the reason is for one, you have to have a big enough house, a large enough house. And number 2, there are some things that I want to do in my house where I don't have to be around my children and his wife and their children.
Like what?
Like what? Like hell, if I want to just walk, if me and my wife want to just walk around butt naked and cook, I wouldn't be able to do that without having to worry about my son and his wife seeing us. You get what I'm saying? It's it could be just about space. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I may want to sit down and watch a movie with me and my wife and not worry about the grandkids running around the house. You get what I'm saying? Like, there are some times where you just want your own space, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? So in her aspect, where we buy land and we all have different houses, everyone has their different space, so we're not on top of each other. But it becomes a different dynamic when your family is all up under the same roof.
Yeah, I feel like it can
cause a lot of animosity. That can cause a lot of arguing, people fighting for space, people fighting for a long time, people, sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I just want to come home with me and my wife and just chill.
Yeah, you could do that in a multi-generational home though. You could definitely just come home and chill and not see your family and, all that stuff. I ain't trying to convince you. I just think that is, to me, it's a strong stance to take, and it sounds very selfish, but it is what it is. I'm not seeing anything that's like logical as to why you need to put your kids out ever. I'm not seeing there's not like, I want to walk around the house naked is not a good enough reason in my mind. Or I want to be able, or I can't go on a cruise or something like that. Like, I'll survive not going on the cruises or trash.
And I understand that you survive.
Hold on. Go ahead, see that.
And that's why I'm saying that many people's lives are different. The way me and you run our household is completely different. So what works for you and your family, do that, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Someone else in their family, they should be allowed to do that. Okay, like for again, my job as a parent is to set my children up for success so that they can go out in the world and do the things that they can do on their own, right? And mommy and daddy is still going to support you, but you have to push them out the nest, right?
No,
they have to be able to do things on their own.
They can do things on their own in your home, though. Just so you know that they can do the same things in your home. You can make them pay rent. You can make them go half on the mortgage. You can make them do the same stuff. Like, what's the difference? You're just making it cheaper.
I don't need them to go half on the mortgage. I got the mortgage.
You just, if it's the principle of just teaching them to do the things on their own, you can do the same things in your home. It ain't like that you need it. You said
is for them to be on their own, not to do things in my house. That's the principle. The principle is for them to stand on their own 2 feet and do it on their own.
But they can
not to do it
see
in
that.
my house.
It's the same thing. Listen to what I'm saying. You want them to learn how to pay bills and shit. They can pay bills in your home. You want them to learn how to clean up after them and clean up in your home. You want them to learn how to be fully whatever function of adulthood you think they need to know. You can teach them in the home. They don't need to leave the home to experience that. That's what I'm saying. You're just making. That's just an excuse. If that's the all I'm saying is if that's the reason, that's a bad excuse because that's not a good. And that to me that one doesn't negate the other. Like, oh, if they're here, they can't learn those things. Of course, where else do they learn those things but in the home? You're waiting for them to go. So basically, what you're saying is, based on your logic, you're not teaching them how to be self-sufficient, but without going in the world. The only way for them to be self-sufficient is for them to go out in the world. That's what you're saying. But you said you're setting them up to be self-sufficient. So how are you setting them up to be self-sufficient if the only way for them to be self-sufficient is for them to go out in the world?
So in order to set them up for being self-sufficient, you can do all those things that you're talking about. Hey, look, you're 19 years old now, so you're going to contribute to your something to the grocery bill. So you start in little steps, right? But to the point where they're talking about getting married and having children, you have to be able to have your own house or you're somewhere where you can raise your children how you want to raise your children, right? In the house where me and my wife stay, you're going to have a lot of problems, or you tend to have a lot of conflict between how one set of family does raise their children as opposed to the other. That's number one.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The problem is not that. Go ahead.
Oh, Jesus. The second part, she made me lose my thought. The second part is, so I do want my children to go out in the world and be successful. And the only way they can do that is by going out in the world and doing that. You cannot do that constantly up under your parents, right? You cannot do that constantly up under the house. They're going to want to be able to do stuff. I'm going to be able to want to do stuff in my own home. And that's where the conflict comes in. There's nothing wrong. How's that not true?
The problem
I don't know what y'all be talking about. I do everything I want to do.
Right. The problem is that you just said it, but you also want to bring something else because you know that it sounds bad. The problem is that we in this community have poor communication skills. We have we don't know how to properly have conflict resolution skills, and we don't respect boundaries. So you won't respect that your child's an adult. You will say, oh, because you live under my roof, I feel that you should be doing it my way. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do it my way, it's a problem because my way is superior than yours, even though you're an adult. Mm-hmm. Even though you're an adult and you live under my roof, I think this is how you should be raising your kids. And I have a say in it.
Because you're under my roof.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm not respecting the fact that you're an adult with your own kids.
Okay, cool.
If you had healthy conflict resolution skills, if you can make proper boundaries, like you and your wife say, hey, this weekend we want some alone time, or like we're going on vacation because we want alone time. If you are able to do that and communicate and have healthy boundaries, then it'll work. But the problem is in this community, a lot of times people are lazy. They don't want to have conflict resolution skills, and they think everything is bad. Conflict is not bad. If me and you disagree on something and we have to sit down at a table and talk about why we disagree, that's not a bad thing that we're arguing or we're having like discourse. We're learning how to properly communicate with each other. But when you put in your mind it's a bad thing, then you're never gonna grow from that.
All right.
So I got you. So in your home, do you have a set standards and set rules in your house?
Yeah, I do. But
okay, now if let me finish. So you have set rules and you have set standards. So whatever those are, if your adult child goes against that repeatedly and says, "Hey, I am an adult. I don't care what you say. I'm an adult. I stay in this house too. I'm going to do what I want to do, regardless of your set standards and rules."
I definitely would kick my child out if my child was it would have to be egregious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's use an example.
Yeah. Let's use an example for, let's say, smoking the green stuff, right? I don't smoke green stuff. I don't allow it in my home. No. But my adult child wants to smoke green stuff, and because they're an adult, they say, I should be able to do this. Would you sit there and have a conversation with them, or would you say, hey, it's time for you to leave then if you want to do those things?
I wouldn't. I don't smoke myself. If my child wanted to smoke, I would just be like, I don't want to smell it. If that would be the case, I would be like, and you can do that easily. Yeah, smoke it in your room or smoke it outside. Who gives a fuck? It's his life.
That's you.
Yeah. Now, so your thing is about control. That's what I'm saying. It's not about the actual. If you can't smell it and you don't, you know what I'm saying? He's not.
I don't want it on my house. I don't want it on my property.
I know, but see that. I get it. But you a cop though, so I get that. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I get that. In your particular case, I understand that. I'm not a cop. You know what I'm saying? If it's legal in your, is it legal in your city?
No. In Texas, it's still not legal.
It's still not legal. Okay, yeah, that's good. Then I understand completely in your case. Yep, I totally understand that. No doubt about it. Totally understand that.
Oh, I mean, but we can go. But that's the thing. So when you have grown adults, they want to be. Grown children. They want to be grown, and a lot of the times, the things that they want to do doesn't align with the things that you want to do in your house. And then a lot of people claim it as you being controlling and you're doing this. Like for me, when I go to sleep, there's no dishes in the sink, right? So if you and your kids, y'all want to come in, y'all want to stay here, that's a condition for me. Like, look, if you're gonna eat, whatever, clean your dishes. Put them
imagine if you're
certain things like that.
Imagine if you or your wife left each other because y'all didn't do the thing that y'all asked each other to do. Because you ain't perfect and I ain't perfect and your wife ain't perfect. So imagine if you treated your wife the same way you describe and treating your kids. Imagine that.
And not only that, but my parents raised me already to clean up behind myself. So I already have that instilled in me. So if I'm an adult now, I'm still going to do it because that's exactly how they raised me. I'm not going to go against it.
Right, but so again, but you're missing my point. If there was something that you wanted to do in your parents' house that they don't allow, how would that make you feel? Does that mean
but you gotta. But listen. Yeah, it depends on what it is, though. It depends on what it is. If it's within reason, like the thing you just described with marijuana, you're a cop. It's illegal. You don't want to do illegal things in your home as a police officer. I respect that. Completely understand. For me, though, right, a regular citizen, I don't give a. I don't care about. I'm not trying to control my son even at 8. I'm not trying to control him, let alone at 28 or 22, right? But as long as they're responsible, I would rather, my logic with anything like that is, I would rather they do it around me because it makes more sense. Because that way I could track it if it's getting out of control. Hey, that's the right. We can have a discussion. Hey, there's something going on. They doing it in their home. They out there. You know what I'm saying? Like it might become an actual issue for them. But I would much rather them do it under my roof. That makes way more sense.
So you would allow your children to do something that you absolutely oppose and that you know is detrimental to them, as long as they do it under your roof, under your guidance?
If they're going to do it anyway, absolutely. If the option is kick them out and let them do it in the free world and do it to the point to where it actually will destroy them, or do it underneath my roof where I can track them and I can offer help and assistance and a safe space. Yes, that's that dumb shit. That's what I was talking about. Growing up, I started smoking when I was in junior high school, right? And I told my mom within weeks of me smoking, I told her that I was smoking. And from there, from that point forward, she old school parent, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that in my house. You know what I'm saying? Get mad at me when she was smelling on me, all of this stuff. She never tried to help me, by the way. Like nobody ever came and was like, hey, you can't smoke. It wasn't that. It wasn't like, why are you smoking? It was just don't do it. And if you're going to do it, it's a problem, right? Now, how I look at it as a parent, if my 12-year-old kid started to do that, I would be like, I get it. Like, but why, what's going on? Are you okay? Is it, you know what I mean? Like I would, because there's a reason why a 12-year-old picks that type of stuff up. I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it. But if he just says, yeah, man, when I do it, I just feel more relaxed. I become more creative, whatever the case may be. I would be like, hey, I really don't want you to do that. I really, really don't. Like, here's the health risk to that, yada, yada. You're a young kid. You shouldn't be doing it. But me telling him he can't ain't going to stop him. I know that because I experienced that. So letting him do it underneath my roof seems like the most logical solution rather than being like, you can't do that under my roof. And now he's like, okay, now I'm going to do it outside in an alley. And guess what? He got busted by the police. Stupid.
Yes, I mean, so I kind of get what you're saying. Yes, so absolutely. If my child is doing something that I disapprove of, absolutely the first thing I'm doing is talk to him, figure out what's going on, this and that. But I also want to have hard boundaries on certain things, right? You're not going to be smoking in my house, right? Number one. You're not going to be having snacks in my house. That's number two. Those are things that, so if you're going to do it,
smacks?
You're gonna have to do it outside somewhere else. I have told
you want your kid hunching outside your house, C. Dave?
Yes, absolutely. Let me explain. So, number one, I have taught you, coached you, and told you what was right and what was wrong, right? Like you said, I'm not going to be able to control you and make you do whatever it is that I want to do. You're going to do what you want to do. My thing is if I've given you the tools and if I've taught you what's right and wrong, and you choose to go the opposite way, then those are choices that you're making. You have to deal with those consequences. But what I will not do is condone that type of behavior in my home. You're going to have to find somewhere else to do it. Because whether you do it here or not, you're still going to do it. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like it's okay for you to do it in my house.
Hey, somebody, hold on. I got you, Dre. You can go right now. I just got to read this cash app. They said Hadouken and C. Dave off the panel. They put 20 on his head. Go ahead, Dre.
It's coming, bro. I told you.
It took longer. C. Dave, one of these days, I'll be having my fingers crossed. You're gonna be able to make it for like an app. But go ahead, Dre. That's crazy.
Bro, see, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. What it sounds like is you're reinforcing something that you were raised with. Because like I can hear it in the way you're speaking, in the tone that you're carrying, that you're repeating rhetoric that you were raised with and taught growing up. So,
well, some of the things that my parents taught me were good. So yes, I will reinforce it.
Some of them.
Yes, sir. And see, that's the thing about, what our parents reinforce versus what we go through ourselves. Knowing our own life experience and what we go through, and then growing up with what our parents dealt with, we're living in two different time periods. So when it comes to what we were raised with to what our children are dealing with now, we have to take in more, I want to say, open-minded look at things and expression and, certain forms and stuff. I agree with the public that there is a certain extent to which you should not be trying to, rush your children out. But I also feel that in trying to teach them, if you're going to say, well, you got to get out of my house, you should at least teach them how to survive. If they're going to be putting them out into the world, teaching them like how to deal with certain issues, how to deal with certain things that's going to come up and come along while they're living their life or living their adult life. I don't believe in just forcefully telling children, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead,
C. Dave.
Yeah, that's one of the first things that I said. Is that, I'm not just going to just put.
They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it. Camille paid to drop a mid-sentence.
Damn, I wanted to know, how did he expect them when they face a problem in the real world with that mindset? How does he expect them to be able to come to him and be like, Dad, I'm going through this and I'm going through that. Can you help me? Because I don't know who else to turn to. Or are they going to turn to the streets? Because I've seen people, so many, especially young men, and y'all want to talk about, feminism, the patriarchy this, the patriarchy that. Y'all destroying your own sons, because I've seen so many young men that can't turn to their parents because of the strict rules that their parents, you must do this like I say, or get out. And when they need help, when they like, Dad, I'm in trouble, they can't even come to their mom or dad because y'all say, I told you not to do it. You didn't do it my way. And like, you have to get out. So now they turn into some dude on the streets, some hustler on the streets for advice. So I just wanted to know how he expected his kids to come to him without creating that environment.
And that's what I was trying to get to. Like, when you create an environment like that, and you like just force them out and say, like, survive on your own. You gotta learn by experience and just throw them out there in the world. How do you expect them to turn back around when they have a problem and come to you and say, hey, look, I'm dealing with this. How do I do this? When the first thing that's gonna come to mind is, I would ask him, but he already threw me out, so I don't want to talk to him ever again. In situations like that, I know a lot of young men who get to a situation with their family. When it comes to them saying, hey, I was like, hey, why can't you ask your parents? Oh, no, man, I can't talk to them at all. Why not? Now they told me to leave, and ever since they told me to leave, I said, no, talk to me again. It's like, all right.
Dreddy, you sounding like a bot right now. Your shit cutting out.
The intention was there. Huh?
Your phone, you got low bars. You sound like you sounded like you in the Matrix right now, bro. Your shit.
Yeah, my shit was jamming up right now.
Yeah, but you was spitting though, so that was crazy. Yep. We're gonna get to Kay and then we're gonna get to Mello. Go ahead, Kay. Come back when your signal ready. Oh, you dropped? Okay. Yep.
You hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I had a question, and it came back to my mind because I was gonna ask it last night, but I wanted to. This was a question for the men in particular, and the two that I was thinking about asking, they dropped. When it comes to them talking about them being like protectors and providers and the man of the house, etc.
Hey, Lynn, I'm gonna rotate you.
I wanted to know, and maybe Mello can answer this question. I wanted to know: are you a man who someone would have to vet extensively? Because when we talk about vetting, finding the proper husband, blah, 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 making sure you have the right partner, y'all ain't picking the right partners, blah, 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 y'all ruining the nuclear family. Are you a man who someone would have to thoroughly vet?
Are you asking, you can ask Mello that, because my answer is going to be, yeah, vet all these niggas.
I'm just saying, are you a man that somebody would have to vet thoroughly?
I mean, if you ask, yeah, why not? Vet me thoroughly. Here's my thing. I would rather her know all the shit about me than find the shit out later. You know what I'm saying? So whatever she got to do to figure it out, like if she could ask me, I'll tell her everything I got. But if she needs to go deeper than that or what, I ain't gonna hide nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if she gotta really get to the bottom of it, let's get to the bottom of it. I would prefer her to get all the information up front. That way because I don't want it to be no surprises, you know what I mean, from me to her. I don't want it to be like in 4 or 5 or 6 years, she's like, I didn't know that about you. I could never, you know what I mean? I would rather it be like she know everything about a nigga going into the situation. So yeah, vet the shit out of me. I don't care. Run my credit, all that shit.
But remember what y'all were saying last night about it's impossible to fully vet someone.
There's no way. That's what
and what would be in their background so that they would need to be vetted for. So again, that question is for the men in that, are you a man that if I met you on the streets and you wanted to date me, would I have to vet you? Would I have to worry about having to vet you thoroughly?
I think you would. The reason why I'm saying that, Kay, is because I'm not like because you asking about me personally, right? So I just feel like as much work as I do or have done or whatever, I still got my, you know what I mean, my deficiencies or whatever. And I don't know if your requirements or whatever, I don't know if I meet those requirements. Like, I don't know that when I meet somebody either. Who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, for me, I feel like, yeah, because that's my default is like, yeah, why not just thoroughly vet everybody as much as you can? If that, you know what I mean? If that's your thing, thoroughly vet everybody. I'm not going to make myself the exception though. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you ain't got to vet me. Like, no, vet me. Yeah, for sure. Why not? For sure. You got to vet me the same way you got to vet every other dude that comes in your life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable saying, because basically that's the same question as like, are you a good man? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, am I? Like, go on and vet me. Let's find out if you feel like I'm a good man.
But see, public, that's how you would answer it. But you have these men coming on here acting as if they're perfect and they're above reproach. So when you ask them certain questions and they get cornered, then all of a sudden is, y'all need to vet better. That's why y'all keep ending up, or you got people like GD saying, oh, well, she the one picked them. She picked the man, etc.
Yeah.
So if there's no way to or bring them around other men, those men can vet them. But again, if y'all aren't predatory, if you believe that you're a good man, why would a woman have to vet you thoroughly?
Yeah, that you got to ask them that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
And I guess that's been a burning question since last night. I felt like I was trying to like the screen and I fell into the vortex, and then it said you weren't accepting guests no more. So anytime if I fall off this beach and you ain't hear from me, let me back up. Because it was an accident, okay? So I fell out the vortex.
Oh my God, Kay. Okay, I hear you.
But maybe Mello could answer that, since he's had a checker pass.
Mommy, I want this, please. Just a little.
Just a little, okay.
Just a whittle.
Okay. She's just a whittle.
Just
it's
a whittle.
A red velvet brownie.
Yeah, let her have that.
Oh, they homemade. My sister-in-law made them.
Yeah, she deserve a whole one of them. Because they're gonna be gone.
Yeah, so maybe Mello can answer that question, since he seems to be above reproach and everything like that. Maybe he know.
Hey, thanks, Bub.
No problem, brother. Yeah.
Okay, I absolutely agree with. You're gonna have to vet everybody as thorough as you can, just for the simple fact you have to make sure that they align with your standard and core values of what you want in an individual.
You know what? I ain't gonna even hold y'all. I like the idea of getting vetted, because at the end of the day, I be feeling like, that's gonna just bolster my little go on and dig up in there and see what you find. You know what I mean? Like, because a part of vetting to me is you ask the questions, they answer them, and then you go follow up to make sure that they're telling you the truth. Like, vetting is like when you go fill out like a application for a job. On there, they ask you, like, did you graduate from here? You say yes, and whatever. But then they still check and see if you graduated though. So you can put yes on there, and like they go, oh, they said yes, and no, they go follow up. So part of it is you asking me, oh, did you do it? Yep, I did that. Yep, I did. I never did that. Yada yada yada. Go back and check. I want you to go check so you can see. Oh yeah, yep, he did say he did that. Whether it's good or bad, I'm saying it's gonna all check out. You know what I'm saying? You asked me. Yep, I did. I've done that before. Yep, I did that. Damn, yep, you smoke. Yep, I smoked when I started when I was 12 years old. You ever did it? Yep, I've done beat niggas up for looking wrong. Whatever the hell the case may be. Yep, cool. And then you go check it out, and then you find out, you ask around, be like, yep, he did all of those things. So at that point, it's like, was it a big deal? Like, because most of the time, the shit that you be like admitting to, it don't even be like a big deal to people. They just be wanting to see if you a fucking liar most of the time.
Ashley understands my question. She said, why do we need to vet if there's so many good men, though? So that's what I'm saying. If y'all are these men of valor, integrity, you're upfront, you're forthcoming, why would I have to vet you? Why would I have to dig into your past, do a background check? I'll
be honest. I ain't never vetted a woman I ever talked to. I ain't never even thought about it. Like, whatever she said, it was what it was. Like, it don't mean that I didn't clock shit along the way, the ones that was deceiving me, no doubt about it. But I never went into the situation like, oh man, I got to get to the bottom of this one. Like, nah, I just fucking, like, she was like, I believed her. Like, I believed her. I believed her until I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I never really felt like I really needed, I didn't really need to like go out of my way to like, let me dig through her past. Like, I was like, nah, that, and I never, like, very few women I ever found out stuff later on after, as time went on, that like, they said something to me that wasn't true. Like, my wife, funny as shit, I'll tell this story many times. This would be perfect time to talk about it. My wife was raised Hare Krishna, so that's like, it's like a sect of Hinduism, right? And I had never been, so she had her own apartment or whatever. She had roommates, but she had her own apartment. That was the only place that I had. She came to my apartment. I went to her apartment. That was all we knew about each other up until that point. One day she tells me to come to her. She was at her dad's house. And I'm like, cool. So that's where she grew up. So I go to her house and I pull up on the block and it was a dude outside. It was like 3 a.m. It was a dude walking around outside. If you guys know what a sari is, he had on like a sari, think like Indian garb, like the dresses that men wear, women wear, whatever, like one of those. 3 o'clock in the morning, walking around outside, like talking. I didn't know. I called her. I was like, hey, it's a dude, like literally like walking right in front of your apartment, talking to himself. And she was like, yeah, just come inside. I can explain everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that kind of like, you know what I mean? I was like, that's funny. I go inside of her room or whatever. First of all, her room, this is just funny side note. Her room was funny. So her dad had 2 apartments and they had the apartment upstairs and he had the apartment downstairs. Like, so her dad and her brother lived in the apartment downstairs. She lived in an apartment upstairs pretty much by herself. And it was like their office or whatever, but she had a room in there. And she had you would climb up through a hole cut with a ladder in her room downstairs. So you like went to this closet and it was like a hole cut into, then you climbed up in the ladder. It was super cool. I thought it was, I was grown. I thought it was cool. So you climb up, whatever, we go in there and I walk into her, I go into the room and she had like posters of like Krishna. She had posters of like the god Krishna on the wall. She had posters of like Vishnu. Like I'm a Black American Christian man. I walk in her home, I'm like, what the fuck? And I just started cackling, like fell out laughing, like, oh, this is so funny, whatever. But like, you know, she didn't divulge that information to me when we were, you know, before that. It wasn't like she told me about that. I don't think we really talked much about religion before that, but like that wasn't a conversation that came up. You know what I'm saying? But had I been, and at that time I was still like deconstructing my Christianity, my religion. So and I remember saying stupid stuff there, like, I don't know if I can marry anybody that ain't Christian. I remember saying that to her. It was really dumb. But had I been like a real, like if I'd have been like a Dr. Julio type nigga, that would have turned me off. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have definitely turned me off. Like I would have been like, yo, like what the fuck is this? But it didn't. I laughed at it. It was funny. To this day, I clown her for it. We get a good laugh out of it. To this day, we laugh about it. She probably, if she watching right now, she remember it. It was funny. But like, that's like for me, that's like the vetting shit. It's just shit it just comes up as, you know what I mean? Like as you progress in a relationship, shit just comes up, man. You just learn about each other. Like that's just a part of life. You there's no way for you to like get to the bottom of every fucking thing, you know, like when you want to. You can't, it ain't going, I didn't even think to ask her about that. So what religion were you raised in? Like, I don't fucking think about that shit. What up, Logic? But Mello, I brought Mello up here because Mello, it sounds like you are sounds like you down for the nuclear family. Is that would that be correct?
I'm down for nuclear family, a variation, or I'm also down for a multi-generational family. However, dealing with a multi-generational family, you're normally going to have multi-generational issues because each generation was normally raised with a set of skewed values that got passed down to the next generation. Like corporal punishment was a big thing with our grandfathers, grandfathers or grandmothers' grandmothers. So therefore, that's something they believe in. Well, you might not want your kids raised under those same principles. So you got to fight them against raising your children under their value system.
I don't think that's that difficult. I'm not saying that can't happen. You're right, that can happen, but the majority of the time, the grandparents obviously defer to the to the parents, typically.
And so I'm saying with that, if you're a working parent, dad and mom, then you really have to pay more attention to the core values of how your parents raised you and the flaws you seen within them, because they can also pass them same generational problems into your children.
It can. Most of the time, most of the time,
you can't say most of the time because you got to deal with household by household.
I know, but most of the time, we know grandparents be totally different than how they raise. Like grandparents don't act the same with their grandbabies as they do with their babies. We know, right? And also the traumas you're talking about, Mello, they would already be there because they would be in you. You know what I'm saying? Just because you moved to a different house don't mean the traumas that you had growing up disappear. They're still there. So either way, the traumas are there. You got to deal with them no matter what. You can either deal with them in a multi-generational home or you can deal with them in your home, but you still got to deal with them.
But no, public, you have to deal with them. But what I'm saying is you might have came from the butt whooping era, but you're not going to subject your children to that.
I'm not, yeah.
But your parents may still, especially if you're raised in the house with them, they may see your children acting up and come to you be like, you know, that child needs this, that child needs that.
Yeah,
that's how
shut the fuck up. Those are my kids. Be quiet. Like, or
that's
I'm not saying I would react like that, but definitely that's how the conversation would typically. I mean, it would be like, well, no, this is how I'm raising my kids, and this is the best thing for them, and this is why. And grandparents gonna either get down or lay down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't playing that. Like that's you want to talk about an ultimatum? That's an ultimatum. You either respect how I raise my kids, or I move, or I leave, and you never see them.
And
Which
see,
one?
That's another reason why my baby can't go to many places because I raised her in Georgia. Like, I had her in Georgia, so she didn't grow up around my family like that. So I know the knee-jerk reaction is to pop kids when they cutting up. She not gonna go over there because they not gonna understand me explaining things to her, me trying to parent a different way, me reparenting myself as I parent her. They're not gonna understand all that. They just gonna want to pop. And not saying that they don't love her or, you know, but spanking is abuse. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even, I'm really not too keen on her even going too many places because, they on boomer time.
My kids don't go nowhere without us. I don't even. These little niggas right here. You can watch my kids in my house. You can come over my house and babysit my kids, but my kids don't go over nobody else. We've left them at my brother's house for a few hours one night. It was like late and they were sleeping already, and we dipped out and went and came back. Yeah. And we were supposed to spend the night away from them, but we ended up coming back and sleeping at my brother's house on the couches, uncomfortable as fuck. But because we just don't know how to be away from them little motherfuckers for too long. My divinity, go ahead.
Hey, listen, I can't even comment. I think that when it comes to the boomer people, they have a very abusive way of raising kids or interacting with kids. Like the way that they talked to us when we were younger. I'm sorry, I kind of was in and out of the conversation, so I just came in on certain parts. But the boomers were very, very abusive in the way that they saw things, kicking kids out the house early. I personally don't believe in kicking kids out the house early or too young. Like 18 to me is just an age. It doesn't really mean that you're grown. It just means that you're legal to buy cigarettes. You can't even buy alcohol. You can't really do as much as a fully grown person that's over 21 can do. So for me personally, my son, he could not stay in my house that long. But my daughter, she can. Yeah. I would let her, I would try to help her to make the right decisions and stuff, but I don't agree either with kicking kids out the home too early. Because like I said, the boomers, they were very abusive, and most of us, well, I know for me, we left the house. I was raised by my grandmother, so that's kind of like, that's like a generation, what's that, like the silent generation? Mm-hmm. That's way, I'm talking about grandma. Shit, boomer. Oh, okay, boomers. Yeah, so they're very, they just were very, very abusive. And I'm gonna be honest, my sister wanted to say something, but she wasn't able to listen as much, so that's why I requested up here. But I appreciate the gifts. I'm gonna drop down because she didn't really hear the full conversation, really. That's fine. But yeah.
Appreciate you.
For letting me up, though.
No problem. Go ahead, Coco.
Hey y'all, it's Friday, right? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, yeah.
So I agree with a lot of what C. Dave was saying, and I'll give some background and context first. Like, I was raised in a very multi-generational family. I knew I knew 3 of my great-grandparents, all my grandparents, great aunts, uncles, cousins, church family, all that, like very communal upbringing. But I don't think it's unreasonable to set the expectation that your kids leave home at 18 years old. Everybody I know, including myself, we left home at 18 years old, and we left with the support of our families. Like, we went off to college, and I don't see how that's an unreasonable expectation that when it's time for you to graduate high school, you set a plan, whether it's going off to college, whether it's finding a job, going into the military, whatever it is, but you have a plan to start organizing your life and setting yourself on a path. And I don't think leaving home is unreasonable at all. Like, all of my friends left home, and we all moved across the country from California all the way to, we all went to HBCU, so all the way to the South. And I don't understand how that's unreasonable. Like, how are people saying no, absolutely not? Hundreds of thousands of kids leave home every year at 18 years old and go to college.
Now, Coco, you had me till you said C-Dave. C-Dave!
That's his name, isn't it?
Yeah, C-Dave, yeah.
Yeah, but who agreeing with a C-Dave?
So when I got up here, I heard him say, like, yes, like, my kids, like, need to leave home. I expect them to leave home at 18. And if I will be there. I didn't hear him say that he would just kick his kids out into the street with no safety net.
No, he said he would take care of them. He would help them. He would help them and all that stuff. So for me, this is how I look at it. I think that a lot of things about our society now is unnatural to human nature. You know what I'm saying? So we're not supposed to be able to travel thousands of miles away in, hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a real, you know what I mean? Like, that's not something humans were supposed to be able to do, whatever. So though things may be normalized, I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's the healthiest way to be. I don't think sending my kid across the country is the healthiest thing for them. Did it work out? Could it work out? Absolutely. Is it the healthiest way? Probably not.
See, that's where you lose me, because I think that's a broad generalization. You have to know your child. Now, for me, it was the best thing for me. I was always I was the most independent child in my family, like amongst my siblings. Mm-hmm. So my mother was like you. She would have had me close to her, right? Like, she would have loved for me to stay at home, and my sister and brother, they did stay in California. Well, my brother, so my brother did go off to college, but he didn't have the same sort of like initiative and like self-determination that I had. So when he went off to college, it wasn't, what do you mean, girl, bye? So this girl, Princess Brat, she really be on my line. I think she wants to be me. The last time I was up here, she was running her mouth. But anyways, let me continue. So like when I went off to college, it was the best thing for me. And my grandfather really pushed for me to go off to college because he wanted me to live independently. He wanted me to be on my own. Now, it wasn't the best thing for my sister or my brother because they didn't have that same initiative or the same drive. So I don't think you can say that it's not good or healthy. It depends on your child.
No. I didn't say it's not. I said that I was saying it's not the healthiest. I don't believe that a 18-year-old or a 19-year-old or whatever, a young adult, a old kid, whatever you want to call it, moving thousands of miles away from their family is the healthiest thing for them. I don't. Like I said, I don't think it worked out for you. You were great. You flirt, whatever. But was it the health? Probably not. And is it for the majority of people who do it? Probably not.
How is it not healthy when hundreds and thousands of kids leave home and go to college every year?
That's just wait. Just because a lot of people do it doesn't mean it's the health. You see what I'm saying? Like, I get that. I'm not arguing that people don't do it, and I'm not arguing that a lot of people. It's like this. To me, that's the same argument that people can make about being abused growing up. Well, I was abused growing up, and I turned out fine. It's like, but what's the okay? That doesn't mean that it was the healthiest thing to do.
What's unhealthy about it?
I can tell you, Coco, as somebody who is just like you, super independent, I became hyper independent, which means it caused a lot of mental health issues, mental anguish, because I put this undue burden, an unnecessary burden on myself to succeed, to overachieve, thus driving myself into depression, anxiety, panic attacks, because I knew, because everybody perceived me as the independent person that I am, the person who don't ask nobody for nothing, I knew I couldn't go back home. I knew I couldn't ask for anything because that was not the expectation. Oh, she got it together. She got all her ducks in a row. So, she asking for help, and then it turns into, well, what you doing with your money? I saw you was out of town and blah, blah, blah. Mind you, other people who aren't as independent, who were moochers, never got that type of treatment. Mm-hmm. So to this day, as a married woman with children, it is very hard for me to ask for help. And it has caused issues with me going to school and finishing my degree because it's kind of like how the men say, protect, provide. That's what they was taught, protect, provide. That's literally the same kind of conditioning that you are forced into when you're a person who is independent and people expect no failure out of you.
That doesn't make it inherently unhealthy. That means your family didn't set you up with the proper foundation to be able to go off and be successful on your own. That doesn't mean that it's inherently unhealthy to send your kids away at 18 to go off and do something and build a life and start building a life for themselves. Like I said, I can give you examples. All of my friends, literally all the Black kids I graduated with, and it wasn't that many of us, we all left California and went to HBCUs. A lot of them never even came back because they set up their lives wherever else they went. Yeah. But we had the foundation, the family support. It wasn't like you go off into the world and you're by yourself. I always knew I could come home. Yeah. I always knew that. I always had family support. It wasn't a struggle. My parents paid, or my grandparents paid for me to go to college. I never had to worry. So I don't understand how it's still inherently unhealthy.
And my family's some fucking haters.
Yeah, I think, and Coco, I'm also 100% in favor of that situation, or, you know, just the kid. They ain't got to go 1,000 miles away, but just, you know, moving out of the community, whatever. If the community is toxic for the child, absolutely get the fuck out of there, right? Like I'm all for that. But I'm saying, like, all things considered, you got a good foundation. You got a good support system there. Like I said, I don't think that the best outcomes come from young children, old children, or young adults not being around their family. Like I think that usually it leads to, like Kay said, I think it leads to other things that come up in the future. Maybe not in the immediate, right? And the experience is great because you can have a very great experience in college and be at home. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like because I moved, I had this great experience. You just had a great experience at college. I know plenty of people that stayed at home that had great experiences.
I went to college where my family is from also.
Yeah.
So like sending me, and again, I wasn't sent off into the world. And this idea that you just send your kid off and they don't have support. My family's from Virginia. I went to school in Virginia, although I was raised in California. So I still had the family. I still was.
But then that's different then, Coco.
What?
That's different then. If you're still around, if you still have a support group, then that's different. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about people literally getting forced out, or whatever the case may be, going to a place where they don't have a support system, right, immediately around them, and them having to fend for themselves and figure everything out for themselves and so on and so forth. I don't think that that's healthy. I think that's a lot. It's like working out. Like, it's like going into the gym and being like, lift 225 day one. Like, you ain't got to warm up or nothing. Don't build your way up to it. Just get on the bench, 225, throw it up, see what you got. Like, I think that's a lot to put on a person. And though there may be people in there that could walk in there and do it, most people can't. And most people, when they try, even when you do it, sometimes you still end up getting injured. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could do it. You might do it in racket, and then come to find out your wrist is all fucked up and your thumb is all fucked up. You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't always be like this immediate, like, man, I did it and I'm hurt right now and I've had a terrible time. You could have had a great time in your mind, but then you start to see stuff crop up later on. That's all I'm saying. And like I said before, human nature, just looking at human nature, I'm not an anthropologist at all. I'm just, just from what I know, my limited knowledge of human nature. People historically, up until the industrial age, were not able to travel long distances in a short period of time. That means people typically stayed around one another for a long, like family, community. They stayed around one another for a long time. Most people did. I think that that's the most natural way, personally, right? It makes the most sense to me. Now, just because we can do it doesn't mean it's the best way to do it. Doesn't mean it's an advantage. It doesn't. I haven't heard, to me, nothing you have told me makes me feel like you got some advantage from going to Virginia to go to school. You just had a great experience. What's the advantage in leaving your family?
So first of all, at home, I was very sheltered. I was very sheltered. I really didn't have to worry about anything. For me, going off to college really enforced that independent spirit that I already had. And let me just say this. Not all people keep talking about privilege. Y'all have no idea what privilege is. Like, my family is one generation up from poverty. Blue collar work put me through college. So please stand down with the privilege talk. Like, my grandfather worked to 70 years old to put me through college. Like, that's not privilege. That's not elite. That is literally one generation up from poverty.
That's grinding.
So pipe down. So anyway, but there were plenty of kids that I went to college with who, my boyfriend in college, for example, had no parents, lived in New York, came down to college to Virginia. He's a doctor now. So it's like there's no such thing as just I don't think that you just fell out here on your own just because you're out here on your own. I think that's an excuse that a lot of people make as to why they can't make it. Be self-determined. Have an internal locus of control. Guide your life.
Yeah, I'm with all of that stuff. I'm not against that, but go ahead, Dreddy. Hold on. Let me read this. Let me read the super chat. Brooke, appreciate the super chat. She said, men want their kids, including their daughters, out of the house, but also don't like independent women. That's funny. Go ahead. They out here breeding the independent women that they hate. That's crazy. Go ahead, Dreddy.
I want to say, what you did was traveling with a safety net. And what I mean by
safety net, I said that. That's what I said. I said even in the comments.
No, listen.
And when C. Dave, no, let me correct you because you're not going to misquote me. When C. Dave got up here, he said he would want his kids to leave the home, but he would offer them support. I said that's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
I understand that. Well, listen to what I'm about to tell you. What I said was, what you did was travel with a safety net. What we're speaking on is that most people don't have the luxury of traveling with a safety net. When public is speaking of women traveling, I'm gonna give you an example. I have a homegirl who's from California. She came to Georgia with no one, no relatives, no anyone. So when she got into a situation, she needed help, and she had to turn to the people that was around her. Now, the people that she had around her before she met me used and abused her and mistreated her and put her in a very low mind state, to where she lived in a state of constant fear that something was always going to happen to her if she trusted people. Now, I'm explaining this to you because of the simple fact that you're saying that, you learned a lot. Yes, there's things that you can learn that's positive, and there's things that you can learn that gave you a negative experience and impact you mentally. So when we talk about traveling and going places by yourself, we're not saying you're going somewhere where you have relatives who know people, or you're around people or surrounded by at least a few people that's connected to your family. We're talking about people who go to places that they don't know anyone and they don't have anything to support them.
Yeah, and most people don't have that support. Like, most people's parents ain't paying for them to go to college, grandparents, whoever, right? My wife's grandfather paid for her to go to college, but ain't no way in hell anybody was paying for my ass to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't afraid of getting incurring debt or anything. I did not go to college because I was afraid of debt. I just didn't go to college because I was a dumbass. But
and see, I had scholarship, and I had to get financial aid because my family was impoverished. So what I'm saying, I think, Coco, what people are saying is it's different when you send your kids out into you just push them out into the world unprepared at 18. Like, it is your responsibility as a parent, because these children didn't ask to be here, to prepare them adequately and support them. Like, literally, it's your life's work. And if you're not willing to do that, then you don't need to be a parent. But a lot of parents set their kids up for failure because they don't teach them financial literacy. Some of these kids don't know anything about a lease until they get in a situation, realize they can't pay their rent, and now they're getting evicted. Now they have, these issues on their credit. They're learning about credit, they're learning about life, they're learning about finances as they go. That is not healthy. That is not appropriate. So that's the crowd that public is speaking to. So support is one thing, but propelling your kids out and saying, okay, I done raised you to 18. It's your job to take it from here when you have not given them any of the tools. It's fucking diabolical.
And Coco, your family didn't even kick you out. You wanted to go to they didn't put you out. You could have went to college wherever you wanted, you know what I'm saying? Wherever, whatever. But you was like, I'm going to college at HBCU, and that's dope. And I love that. But see, Dave was like, no, my kids got to leave when they 18. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how well you raise it.
What you're saying is that it's inherently unhealthy for a young adult. Let's just say young adult, because 18 to 25 is a young adult, right?
Yeah.
You're saying that it's inherently unhealthy for them to develop and discover themselves away from the nuclear family.
Not nuclear family, but yeah, just their support system. I do think it's inherently unhealthy because they're still developed. The same way I would think it was unhealthy if a 16-year-old did it, because their brains are still developing. They still need you see what I'm saying? They still need their support. Ain't gonna never stop. It ain't like once they turn 25, now I'm gonna stop supporting my kid. The support is always gonna be there. Always gonna be there. Oh man, they paid to drop you, Coco. That's crazy.
Oh, yay. First time. I know you
Go.
fucking lying.
They made the drop her. I ain't never seen that before. She said first time. That was crazy. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me read this super chat. Osa said, going to college with a support group around you is not the same as adulting alone. It's not. This is on a bell curve. Most people do not thrive thousands of miles away from their family on their own. That's what I'm saying, Osa. That's all I'm saying. Like, y'all can you can make all the cases in the world for you turned out great and yada yada yada, and I'm with you. Like, I'm happy you worked out for you. I think though, I don't think that is the healthiest way. I think staying in the home or close to the man. Yeah, y'all got me. I'm like double down on my idea now. I'm like, nah, I gotta keep my babies together forever. Like, I'm not controlling. Y'all don't understand. I'm not even that guy. I'm not controlling at all. Like, my kids got the room to be fucking people. Y'all seen me talk to my son. My son is a fully functioning like he's his own person. You know what I'm saying? We just be around that little motherfucker, making sure he don't hurt himself. That's it. But he his own right now, and one day we ain't gonna even do that for him. You know, we ain't gonna have to do that for him. Like, but I want him here though. Like, I want him here. Like, I want to be around him, and I want him to be around us. I feel like it's just better energy. I feel like it's better for them. I feel like it's better for them. I'm gonna keep being elite. I just feel like it's better for them. I do. I feel like it's better for us, and I feel like it's better for them. I feel like it's the healthiest thing. I just think it's really weird that when you think about it, it's like when in history were people just leaving their homes and moving thousands of miles away from their family, from their community, from their village? Oh, you talking about Coco? From their family, from their community, and from their villages. Like, that sounds crazy to me. Like, that shit just started happening in 19 fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is like a brand new idea. That is not a common thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not.
Indian girls gotta stay till they get married.
Yeah,
and they will literally be shamed in their family if they leave home before they get married.
I think that's a controlling thing. Don't get me wrong. So I don't want to conflate what I'm saying with that, because I ain't on that type of time at all. Daughter, son don't matter. I got 2 sons, and I'm like, you know, chill. You know what I'm saying? Post up with us. Save money. I want you to stack. Hey man, stack your cheese. Stack your bread. Why do you need to go in debt? Stay here. Stack all the cheese. You got all the cheese in the world. Why you need to learn how to pay a mortgage if you can stay here and buy a house out with cash? Go get your my cousin, my little baby cousin. That fool, his dad put him through college. He stayed with his dad the whole time. Out of college, he got a job. He got an engineering job. He's an engineer. Started off making 125 racks right out of college, 125,000. He stayed at his house for a few years, saved up hundreds of thousands of dollars, moved out, put whatever, you know, probably put $200,000-$300,000 down on a house and bought a house somewhere. He's still paying a little baby mortgage in Cali. Little baby mortgage, probably paying $1,500 a month for his house right now. Like it's a 19. He paying a mortgage that our parents paid for their house. Like, what the fuck? What are we talking about? Get out the house and go. Be in a rush to go in debt. Be in a hush. Go be in a rush so you get off of my health insurance so you can go pay for your own health. No. Hey man, as long as they can legally be on your health insurance, they should, at the very least, they should be in your home. What is the age? 25? If it's 25 years old, if they can legally be on, what is it? How old is it? 26? 26. 26. If you can legally be on my health insurance till you 26, it's a reason. It's a reason why the system say you should be on my health insurance till you 26. We're gonna take full advantage of that. What we in a rush for? What you in a rush to do what? We gonna live your life? You can live your life right here. I'm not stopping you. I'm not like C Dave. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like C Dave. If my babies get addicted to smack, I'm gonna be like, do it in the house. So I want to help you.
Hang on, brother. But see, you also have to realize, depending on your household, some people, once they turn 18, they're eager to leave because they can form their own independent and truly be independent.
If they want, Mello, if they want to.
Mom and dad's rules is sometimes too harsh for you to want to follow.
And my rules ain't, Mello, listen to what I'm saying, brother. I hear that. If you got to leave for your own mental health, bounce. I'm saying as the parent, I got control over making that environment for them, cultivating that environment for them that they don't feel compelled to leave. See what I'm saying? So I cultivate that environment. My kids ain't gonna, I promise you my baby ain't gonna never want to leave. He don't have no why. He ain't gonna have no reason to leave. He can bring, you talk, oh, you can't have sex underneath my, yes, you can. Protect yourself. Bring that girl over as long as her parents is cool. You know, definitely when they under 18, but over 18, what is you talking about? Come in, whatever, be respectful to the house. Don't be having no women up in here, women, whatever, disrespecting the house. That's it. Do your thing. I don't be under, what do y'all want, man? If you kick them out of the home, what do you think is going to happen? Whatever behavior you're trying to stop, it's only going to be 10 times worse. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand the logic behind that. Oh, I don't want you smoking in my home, so you got to leave. So they can go do it in their home, and then, like, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. And anytime you make shit taboo, human nature is to rebel. So I don't make shit taboo in my house. Shit ain't taboo. Everything is, hey, let's have a discussion about it. It's all open. Put it all on the table. Y'all make everything taboo. You restrict everybody. You do all of that shit. That's why your kids running around here repressed right now. Everybody knows that the women, for the men that be the 304 culture, the women that end up being the most promiscuous be the ones that was the most restricted at home, right? And also sexually abused. Let's not forget that. But the ones that also, aside from the sexually abused ones, it be the ones that was the most repressed. Now they want to go out. They want to, the world I just got. This is my first time in the world. They end up getting drunk. Same thing with the boys. The boys that are the most repressed, they go out in the world and they do the wildest shit. It's but if you build up their self-confidence, you give them the strength, you give them all of that shit. What is y'all talking about? Y'all not being parents? You afraid? No. The fuck is going on? What's happening?
Hold on, Mello. That happened to my sister's brother. He was raised up in like a super duper religious. His mom was super duper religious. Now his daddy, he was out there in the world. Now he a pastor. But when he went off to college, he ended up doing some tree with somebody, and they laced it with something. That boy lost his mind.
Yep.
And he has not been right since.
It only take one of those trips.
He's talking to himself. Like now they have to take care of him.
Yep. It's in you. It's it usually triggers, it could trigger the bipolar or whatever. It could trigger just one bad trip. We also, marijuana can do that too, by the way. It could trigger bipolarism in a person too. So like I said, I would prefer my son, because when people abuse smugs, it's usually because it's something going on. They're not just doing it just because it's fun. When they become abusive, I knew a person who was a functioning crack addict. I knew a man that was a functioning crack addict for 30 plus years. And when I say functioning, I'm saying he did the C word, and he went to work and bought a house and had a family and never cheated and never lost the money on smack or crack or none of that shit. His wife's still in the house right now. He dead and gone. His wife got the house right now. Y'all, I'm telling you, because you could, whatever. Not everybody get turned out. I'm telling you, some people could control that shit. I wasn't that type. I was the type of person, when I drank to get drunk. I drank to get as drunk as I possibly could without vomiting. That was my goal. Every single time I drank. I never drank just to get buzzed. That's weird to me. That's how my mind thinks. That's crazy. Every time I drink, I'm like, yeah, if you like to drink, I was your Huckleberry. Like, I would be that. I'll be down for that shit. You like to get drunk, you will call P up. P rocking with you. We used to play Edwards 40's hands. Strapped to, we used to take two 40s to our hands and drink. We had to drink them before you left. You had to smash the 240s before you left. Like, we was wilding. I was on some wild shit. But I'm saying all of that to say, I couldn't control. It wasn't for me. But my cousin, on the other hand, that boy, I never saw my cousin drunk. But he would drink. He would drink just as often as I would drink, but I never saw him drunk. I never saw him drunk. Like, I never saw him, like, I would be like, trying to fight niggas and shit. This fool would just be like, yeah, what's going on, guys? Let's do. No hang. I never heard him talking about having a hangover. He didn't have that type of personality. Not everybody go out like that. That's what I'm saying. You could, if you don't, but he also wasn't, my shit was, I had trauma. I had more trauma than him. My trauma led me to the bottom of that bottle. He had a little bit of trauma, but it wasn't like mine. My trauma was deeper. You see what I'm saying? So if you ain't got that trauma, you raising your kids up or whatever, but if they got that trauma, what happened? Especially with my sons, I'm going to be shocked. Like, what happened? Like, where's the trauma coming from? Because we talk to this little nigga every day. Like, what's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? So I would be shocked if he was to start to do that, but I would want to know what's going on. I would not be on some like, get out of my house. These are my rules. You got to leave. You're 18. Like, y'all weird. Fucking drill sergeants. It's not the military. We are not in the army now. Brothers and sisters, these is fucking kids. You are a parent. This is your child. Like, I don't understand that shit not one bit. I don't understand that concept. I don't even know what y'all talking about, kicking your kids out at 18. Make it so they can go out there and pay bills faster. Nigga, what? You want to kick your kids out so they go pay bills? You jealous. That's what it be. Y'all be jealous. Y'all be jealous. The same way you niggas be jealous of the women, y'all be thinking women got a soft life. You be jealous of your kids because you think your kids got a soft life. That's what it is. But you can't do the same thing to your kids that you can do to your wife slave. That's what it is. You can't do the same thing to your kids you can do to your wife slave. I see now. Okay. Damn, okay. I see what it is. Y'all can't do the same shit. It's a different dynamic because they're your kids. Okay. Y'all be jealous. That's crazy. That shit just connected for me right now. That's wild. Let me find out y'all be out here jealous of these babies. Let me find out y'all here jealous of these babies. Y'all crazy as fuck, man. I could never. Jealous of your kids? Wow. They don't make them. They don't, man, you niggas is crazy. Yeah. I didn't know. I had no idea. I had no clue. This is the danger. Let me read. Hold on. I never read this one. Hold on. Osa did this? Oh, yeah, we read that one. Hey, I appreciate the super chat. F. Abdur. Appreciate you, brother. Or sister. I don't even know. I'm sorry. This is the danger of capitalism and the nuclear family. It breeds individualism over cooperation. Exactly. The goal is to cooperate, not to compete. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the goal. The goal is to cooperate, not to compete. The goal is to cooperate, not to compete. That's the goal. At the end of the day, the more cooperation we have, the further we get. And it's fine to be. It is different to be independent. It is different. That's a difference. So you can be independent and still cooperate, right? So you can teach your kid independence, but also teach them cooperation. But the goal ultimately is cooperation, isn't it?
But Pub, you know that's a vestige of slavery, right?
What part of it? Oh, the individualism?
The competition. Because there's so many isms within the Black community.
The lack of resources. Yeah.
Right. Because just down to the fact of my grandma. She was dark skinned, her brother was dark skinned, but her sister was light skinned. You think my great grandma was nicer to her? Right. So you start looking at those types of things and people breed those types of things into their kids. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Coco was saying, well, I've always been an overachiever and my sister have not. So it was natural for me to step into my independence, blah, blah, blah. But then the whole heavy on my siblings are not. So, of course, the expectations from your parents wasn't the same for you and your siblings.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Right? Yep. So that probably created some sort of dynamic where your siblings probably resent you in some sort of way.
I was about to say, a lot of the parents be fumbling on that, too, because they be comparing the kids.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Like, why can't you be more like Kay? That's the worst shit. That's the worst. That's like, yeah, y'all. Some of y'all don't need to be parents. I'm just going. So a lot of people don't need to be parents, man. Y'all really, it's crazy. I listen to people talk all the time, and I'll be like, God damn, I can't believe you got kids. This is sick. But hey, I appreciate y'all coming up, man. I'm gonna have to cut this one. I'm gonna have to cut this shit short. I gotta go get my haircut. It's Friday. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the YouTubes, man. The YouTubes was holding me down, man. The YouTubes was holding me down. We in here rocking. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that sent the super stickers, all the new subs, all the old subs. I will be back tomorrow.